You ready, Jerry?
I'm ready.
Just want to make sure you're ready, brother. Show me the money.
Oh, you didn't know?
Every day I'm hustling, every day I'm hustling, every day I'm hustling.
You put my shoes on, you wouldn't last a mile.
Summertime, wintertime, I'm on the grind. Yeah, I got the ring, I'm the champ, I'm the Judy of the lamb.
This is the gift I was given, so I just live by my hustle.
Put in my pocket, it don't make sense, but don't make a profit. So I hustle, ladies and homies. Make money, 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 money.
Call out here for a pill. Crazy tryna get this money for the real.
I want to find a thing to save my life, so I hustle.
It ain't over for me, no, it ain't over for me.
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money.
Show me the money!
Okay, let's go smoke that joint.
What up? What up? It is Alex, the Fantasy Football Hustler, back at you. And oh yeah, we got another episode of Elevated Sports Talk, Waiver Wire Edition, Tuesday Waiver Wire Edition. Let's see who's up in here. We got our man Toyota One in the house. What up? What up? Crispy, what up? Jay in the house. He said Saints #1 O-line production. I mean, Panthers suck. Panthers suck. I would be happy about everything that's going on. You know, I mean, there's no reason not to be. But the Panthers suck, dude. Panthers really, really suck. Yeah. Let's talk about some waiver wires. I got to smoke. I haven't smoked all morning. How about you guys? What are you guys smoking on out there? Let's get it. Let's get it. And I already got my notes and everything. I got 4 quarterbacks that we're going to be talking about. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 running backs we're going to be talking about. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 wide receivers that we're going to be talking about, 3 tight ends, and 5 defense and special teams. And then we're going to talk about a whole bunch of IDPs, So let's go. All right. And we got to smoke. Song in the house. What up, my brother? Rusty in the house. What up, homie? What up? And man, in one of the leagues, we had somebody bitching because a manager was inactive. And Crispy, dude. So I got a hold of the guy. He was like at a funeral this weekend. Like his girlfriend's like brother passed away or something. So like I know people are like talking shit and like, dude. Like life happened for this guy, so he didn't set his team. Like, man, people are just acting like bitches and shit over there. JPZ, what up, bro?
All right. Fire them up.
Let's go. Woo. Woo! All right. Kind of grabs you by the boo-boo, don't it? Woo! All right. I want to know, before I start getting into these waivers, I want to know, how'd you guys do in week 1? How did you guys do in week 1? I'm sure a lot of us savages who play in a shitload of leagues, you know, little good, little bad. I mean, it always is. It's like, look at here, my first ones. 0-1, 0-1, 0-1, 1-0, 0-1, 1-0, 1-0, 1-0, 1-1, 1-0, 1-0 dynasty, 1-0, 1-0, 1-0, 1-0. Shit, 0-1 in the team that I won a championship last year. Another 0-1, 1-0. I definitely won more dynasties than I lost, but I took a couple big losses in some of the dynasties that fucking sucked. But I'd say all in all, it's a good week. I mean, I'm alive in the survival pool. You know, that one's tough to survive. A lot of people pick the Bengals, ended up losing. I'm alive in the guillotine league, so we made it to week 2. One of the Debo leagues I lost in, the one with IDP, but the one without IDP, I won. And Z Grisby said, I told motherfuckers we don't know the dude's situation. Like, exactly, man. Like, I doubt that. Like, I mean, I'm live and I'm talking to a dozen people, you know, right now. I'm not going to put, you know, the info in the chat or whatever, because it really didn't need to be put in there. But like, man, see, like, that's why people need to quit being fucking stupid, man. Like, everybody, and I know this guy specifically, he doesn't play in like 100 leagues, you know, like us. Like, I mean, I'm sure he plays in a few. I know he plays in a few with us, but yeah, man, you never know what the fuck someone is going through, man. Never know what the fuck someone's going through. Literally dealing with a death in the family, man, you know? I mean, I'm sure that I'd be starting my, you know, fixing everything with my lineups and everything, even dealing with something like that. But shit, I was so busy, I didn't even fix my lineups 100%, you know, this week. Caught a loss because of it. What up, Jay? Took one, Jay. Said I could have done better because the bench went off in those. He said something good about 10 teams out of the 22. But that's getting better. Yeah, let's go. All right. And Tanner, what up? He said, in the elimination league, would you spend Fab on Tank Dell or Drake London or neither? Both. Yeah. I mean, both for sure. Johnny said, not bad. Lost a couple heartbreakers, 13-7 in my paid leagues, plus survived all the 3 guillotines. Let's go. I mean, those are always ones you don't want to be going out in week 1 in the guillotine. I had to kick the 2, not kick them out, but I had to drop the 2 lowest scores full team. And, you know, it's a little rough, man. It's a little rough. It's a little rough when you got to be the one eliminated in week 1. Derek, salute. What's going on, my brother? Everybody hit that like button wherever you are. Yeah, it's got the craziest hiccups right now. All right. Dude, these damn hiccups out of nowhere, man. What the hell? All right. Let's get it. So we go check out. I put all the breakdowns of all the games that I covered in the videos. There's like, I don't know, 10, 12 videos in there. They're all really short. So go check them out when you got a chance. I mean, like they're pretty much all 8 minutes or less. Most of them are like 3, 4, 5 minutes. But go check them out. Give them a like. Give them a thumbs up. Appreciate you. And hey, I just checked. We have 6,769 subscribers as of now.
69, dudes!
Super cool. And then don't forget, if you want to leave a super chat, you can do that. And that supports the show. You get your question answered quicker. All that type of stuff. And sounds good, Derek. Have fun at training, my brother. And the Redster was offered Puka and Mostert for Amari and McLaurin, both on my bench. Feels like an overpayment on a hurt Puka, but I get depth to stash them. I mean, I guess we just don't know how. I mean, I know it's a PCL, strain. It's not like he tore his ACL. And I mean, I don't know. He went on IR. So, I mean, I don't know how long he's really going to be back. Or how long until he gets back. I don't know, man. I don't like buying players like the first week that they die, I'd rather wait a couple weeks. He's not coming back for weeks. Big Bando, what up, homie? Corey, what up, Corey? Shout out to the homie Corey. And Jay said, so how do the survivors work? You lose, you're out. Yeah, if you lose in the survivor, it's a one and done. It's a one and done. Yep. So I know that there's a bunch of people who chose the Bengals who went out week 1. So it sucks. It's tough sledding. I chose the Seahawks, man. I was nervous for the first half of that game for sure. And what up, stranger? Said, I hope my assessment of Burton and Chase helped. Chase did play 40 snaps and Burton had 4. I mean, shit, you saved anybody who asked about Burton because you asked about him. I said, do not start him because there was a bunch of people who were potentially going to start him. I mean, Irwin sucked. I mean, really, it should have been starting nobody on the Bengals. You know, I mean, Zach Moss and Chase did okay. But yeah, it's a bad game all around for the Bengals. And this is why, I mean, we hate preseason because we don't want guys to get hurt. But fuck, man, people are getting hurt in week 1 because they didn't play in the preseason. And people are looking like shit in week 1. And it wasn't just the Bengals. I mean, there's a bunch of teams that look like shit. And the Redster said at least 4 or 5 weeks. I mean, that's what I'm saying, man. It's like, that's a big chunk of the season. And like, he's just going to be sitting on your bench or in your IR for those weeks. Like, I'd rather just wait. King DLBC, what up, homie? What up? All right. Hey, hope everything goes good at the doctors, Jay. And Big Bando said trade Mahomes and Wilson. I traded Mahomes and Wilson this morning for Daniels, Jacobs, and Tyreek. I mean, it's pretty solid. Definitely an overreaction to what's going on, though. As Stranger said, week 1 wildness. I mean, it's always wild, but now with no preseason, you know, we get this a lot of weird shit happening. Crispy said it started the Saints. Smart man. You're talking about the Survivor, right? Hollywood, always up to no good. What up, Hollywood?
Sing about Hollywood.
I haven't gotten into the waivers yet, but I got all my notes. And everything. So for everyone who's hanging around, who just wants a little sneak peek into the waivers, we got 4 QBs. We got 5 RBs. I got 4 wide receivers. I got 3 tight ends. And I got 5 team defenses that I feel very, very confident in this week that you could pick up any of these 5 teams available and start with confidence. So I got, we got a bunch of stuff. We got a bunch of stuff to cover for sure. And actually, maybe before we get into the waivers, let me see if there's any news that needs to be talked about. Tuesday is always a very blah day for news because teams don't really have to disclose anything until Wednesday, you know, specifically. So sometimes we hear little, you know, tidbits, but usually nothing much. And actually, no, there's been no news today, actually. Just Dan Campbell said on the expectation of DJ Reader to play this week. And he said, oh, yeah, he told. Dan Campbell, what a soundbite. Corey said, should I prioritize Lazard or Parkinson this week? I do own Ferguson. So, I mean, if you need the tight end bad, you go Parkinson first. I'm assuming Likely's not available. If Likely is available, you know, throw a waiver claim in on Likely and on Parkinson, put them back to back and use the exact same player to drop. So if you don't get one, you get the other. That's really the way to go. And what up, Charter? What up, bro? And hey, Charter, you're one of my dope 420 crew members here. Let me sending you a text, Charter, just in case. All my top dog VIPs, I'm just sending you all the waiver info that I have right now. All right. Smoke another bowl or two. And for everyone who's new, not new to the channel, but new to just coming in, anyone who just came in here, let me know how your week 1 went. I'm always curious how the crew's doing. I fucked up. I made a managerial decision that cost me a game, and I'm upset about it. some bullshit, man. It's some bullshit. And I outcoached myself. I would have been the highest scoring team in the league, but because I made a managerial mistake, I was the second highest scoring team in the league, and I played the first highest scoring team in the league. So that's what happens when you make managerial mistakes. Like, you can't fuck up because there's no luck involved. Like, I could have played any of the other 10 teams, but I happened to play the highest scoring team on the one league that I really fucked up on and totally forgot to put my super flex quarterback in. I cannot fucking believe it. Left an extra 30-something points on the bench. And Big Bando said waivers in my league aren't really all that. It said everybody already rostered except people like Robinson, Dortch, Lazard. For sure. I mean, you know, like even like Dortch, for example. Like, let me see how much Dortch is even rostered in. %. So actually, I guess I got to add him. Thanks for that. I totally forgot about Dortch. He didn't have the most amazing game, but he needs to be mentioned. So thanks for that. So now I got 5 wide receivers to talk about. Let's see. Yeah, it's not even like it was a crazy game. It's just really about being ready for the future. Let's see. Who do they play in week 2 and week 3? Rams in Detroit. Both at home now. Week 3 versus the Lions. All right. There we go. Thanks for the reminder on Greg Dortch. Forgot about him. For the deeper leagues, you know, of course. Dang it, I totally didn't put the fucking roster percentage on here for the wide receivers. We're going to have to do that right now. Corey said drop Palmer for Lazard. I mean, Lazard is only going to be good when they're going up against really good defenses. I don't think that he's going to be a regular thing. And I don't know what the dealio with with Palmer is. I mean, I know he got hurt, but it was a shit show for the Chargers, just all around. One ended up with 27 wins and 23 losses in all my leagues. Over 500, man. When you play in this many leagues, you're really just trying to be over 500 for the most part, because you never know what the hell is going to happen. You really don't. All right, let me see. Almost got it. Thought I finished all my research. I guess not. Dang, I didn't even put the fucking percentages on the running backs. Hold on, guys. Let me do this real quick right now before I forget. So it's just already ready. Man, I thought I did my due diligence. Because I picked some dart throws. And Big Band said, goddamn, you got 50 leagues. I mean, hey, we're savages around here. We are savages around here. Because I'm rocking around the same. And I'm not even counting best ball in there. I don't know if you were Toyota one. So high on Aaron Jones right now, in my opinion. I mean, the thing is when Aaron Jones isn't hurt, he's not bad. It's when he's hurt that he's bad. I mean, we're only a couple years removed from him having 19 or 18 touchdowns in a season and winning a shitload of people fantasy championships. All Almost, guys. Almost got it here. Man, the tight end landscape is so trash, dude. So trash. And Johnny said, if I counted best ball, I'd have 50 paid teams, not 20. There you go. Okay, now I have all the roster percentages on it, so we're good. We're good. And Austin in the house. What up, bro? Let's smoke it up, homie. Let's smoke it up. All right. Let's see. Okay. Smoke another bowl. Almost got everything ready here. Almost got everything ready here, and then we'll get down to biz. I'm trying to think how I should trying to think how I should do this. Like, for the, what do you guys think? Like, for the waivers, okay? Especially the producers of the show. I know we got some producers of the show in the chat right now. And Bob, if I didn't shout you out, what up, Bob? Shout out to Bo Nix's dad. So I need to know, what would you guys rather see for this like waiver wire video when I do these segments? Like, do you want me to pull up? Like, I can have it to where, you know, I can have it on the side, you know, like this. For IDP, I'm going to do that for sure. But should I do that for offense, or should I just keep it short and sweet and just like make people's names like pop up across the screen? Or should I like actually have it to where like I have like sleeper pulled up, you know, I click on their name and, you know, we see their stats or whatever. Should I do it where I use the side of the screen like this for offense and I'm showing it like that? And, or should I just talk about it and then just have names pop up on the screen for offense? Defense, I know I'm going to do it that way, but, and I said, I feel like short and sweet is fine. All right. Sounds good, Austin. Cause I'm turning all these into other videos. Like, for the people who don't watch the live streams, I'm going to like cut these down, you know, and like load them all up. So that's what I'm wondering what people think. Let me hear it, guys. What do you think? Should I have like Yahoo up or like Sleeper up where I'm like showing stats and things like that? Or am I good reading off the stats, you know, and then just having a player's name? This is for the uploaded, you know, when I add a little editing, you know, on it. Johnny said, I like the visual aids. Okay. Maybe do short and sweet, but timestamp each player you talk about. Okay. King D said just the name is fine. For offense, I feel like I don't have to do much. It's the IDP. I'm probably going to like have them. He said pop up and reading them. Okay. Bob said I got Puka in my IR spot, right? Meow. And some of my wide receivers on the bench are pretty much all losers. Should I pick up the Rams wide receivers like Tyler Johnson? Or should I target another wide receiver? So every waiver wire is different. So I'm only going to talk about I'm only going to be talking about like guys who are rostered in 50% or less of leagues. I mean, maybe there's a random person that's like, I'm pretty sure one person, I can't remember who it is like 53% rostered, but I still threw him in because that's only a couple percentage points. But it really depends on who's in your league. So that's just one thing to remember. Like if there's people who are, I don't know, like if you play on Yahoo, for example, and you see someone's 70% rostered, but they're like a free agent in your league, let me know if you should pick that person up, because sometimes you probably will pick up a wide receiver better than that. But wide receiver is a shit show right now for the waiver wires. Nothing like last year when it was Puka, where we had an actual, like, real awesome flavor of the week. Like the flavors of the week this week, I mean, they're okay, but the wide receiver might be the worst flavor of the week out of all the positions. Out of all the positions, wide receiver might be the worst waivers like options this week, because it is only guys like that. Tyler Johnson, fucking Demarcus Robinson, Alec Pierce, you know, like all these fucking dart throws. Like even Lazard, like we talked about him, but like they're not going to be going up against fucking one of the best defenses in the league every single week. And like there's going to be a whole bunch of weeks where Lazard doesn't get much, and it's Garrett Wilson who's eating. What up, Mike? He says, salute to everyone. What's good with Bogey? Yeah, you won't see Bogey around here. He excused himself from the show. He couldn't handle my takes anymore. There was just like so many shows where he's just like yelling at me, telling I'm wrong about something that we're talking about that's going to happen 5 months from now. And yeah, so he's doing his own thing there. It's funny, but if you guys ever want to get involved with their show, all you have to do is be like a normal person in the chat and you'll get invited onto their show. Because that's like a thing for them. Like right now, pretty much anybody who's a fan of this show who'd like, you know, is in the chat normally, you might get invited onto their show to be like a permanent panelist. You know, you won't get paid anything, but I feel like they think it's a win. Getting people who claim that they're, you know, they're my friends or whatever, like over there. Remember when, I don't know if you heard it, but Tino, he was getting super petty. And it was hilarious. It was hilarious. So, all right, we're going to get into this, and I probably am going to have, like visual aids. I mean, I don't know. See, I guess what sucks is like there's some people out there who like, man, this guy's just like reading a screen when I have it up there. Like I don't know anything. And so that's one of the things that kind of sucks. That gets a little bit annoying. That for sure is one of the things that gets a little bit annoying. And but you know, I guess fuck those guys, right? Because the visual aids for the people who want it. I mean, that's really all I should care about anyways. And what up, Zoo Crew? He said use Sleeper with the stats. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I have I'm gonna have, yeah, and actually I think I'm gonna have Sleeper up for everything. The one thing that sucks, here's my one gripe with Sleeper with IDP when I'm talking about shit. Two. I got two gripes with Sleeper. Number one. The roster percentages suck because there's so many dynasty leagues and all that. And like the roster percentages are horrible for Sleeper. Number two, they don't have solo tackles listed. And that annoys the hell out of me. It really does. Like, that's why I use Yahoo a lot. Those are my two big gripes with Sleeper. The two big gripes. It's annoying because I want to just use Sleeper for everything. And I feel like it sucks when I'm like, they had this many total tackles, but I can't shout out the solo without looking at Yahoo. And I can't shout out the percentages without looking at Yahoo. So that's another thing that sucks. So I'm going to be pulling up Yahoo for the, I'm going to be pulling up Yahoo for that reason. But I'll have Sleeper open so I can tell you how many points it is on Sleeper. And more people still play on Yahoo and ESPN than Sleeper, like combined, and NFL, you know. So that's the three things that those three sites, you know, there's more people playing on that than Sleeper. So I feel like that's why I'm going to use Yahoo for IDP. I'm glad I could talk this out. This is fucking funny. Mike got me with this. He said Bogey's a Kadarius Toney of fantasy football.
Man, fuck Tony.
Also said, I do got to say Bogey would talk too much. He would never let anyone else get a breath in. Yeah, and seeing like, that's why I like doing the solo. Is because I can I can control the chat a little bit more, and you know, like if I need to speed up, I can speed up. I don't have to worry about, you know, anybody else, you know, just with the what's it called, just the pace of the show or anything. Crispy said the picture in the 420 crew on the weekly report. Take a picture. And Juggernaut said, y'all were a dynamic duo. If you were here during the offseason, Juggernaut, like it was really like a Skip and Shannon situation where there was just a lot of yelling going on towards me. And like, I thought it was a stick for the longest time. And no, he's like really serious. So he's lost respect for me somewhere along the way, because you'll never hear him yell at anybody else who he does content with except me. So I think it's one of those things, you know, you get too comfortable being around someone, you know, because you do so much content, things like that. And I think that's what it was. It was like he just got too comfortable, like with me specifically, because I don't know why I'm the one doing content with him the most, but I'm the one who like you know, who he'll like talk shit to, like when we're on live. Never do that to Guccini or Spencer the Guru or Peacock. Never. They could say the exact same thing as me. Never react that way. And yeah, man, Austin, you haven't been around for a while, huh? Because he hasn't been around since like before the Super Bowl. And he said he won't come for the real ones who've been down since day one. I mean, shit, he's trying. They think it's because they got Kidda over there, you know, doing content. And so that was like that's when Tino got real petty. He's like, we got some of your lifelong friends doing content with us now. Like, okay. And Zukru said offense and sleeper. That's why you can see the playing time, like snap percentage, stuff like that, more detailed for people. Yeah, but the snap percentages aren't always correct. Like that's one of the things that really sucks about sleeper. There's been times where I've looked at the snap percentage and it's not the same. And so that's one thing that really annoys me about sleeper as well. Yeah, I don't know. And he said, where did he rock with you to the point of like drama inviting you to play college? Well, yeah, I mean, I invited him to play the college football, yeah, and everything. Yeah, but it didn't add up to me. I'm new. So he said, I don't know all the old crew members' backstory with you. Yeah, I mean, it's all good. It doesn't even matter at this point because we got remonetized on YouTube and I had the biggest month that I ever had in August. And I mean, the whole reason why I do this is to help people, to run a business and live my best life. And so if there's drama going on with like content, like this is the fun part for me. Like the fucking hour that I spent before this when I'm researching all my waivers and writing down all that shit, that's the work part of it. Going and fucking taking one video yesterday and turning it into 16 separate videos, 16 separate thumbnails that I created myself. You know, like that's the work of shit. Like talking in front of the camera and smoking weed, like this is the fun part of my day. And if that part is not fun, and there were so many times that it wasn't fun, that yeah, enough is enough, and it's time for a change. Just like what's his name, Owen Hart says. Raider Jack said solo tackles. Damn, I mean, you got to be on the solo tackles. Like solo tackles is the most important stat for the IDP leagues that we play in. That's for sure. And he said, I remember the show ending during the okay time, so I understand the departure. Yeah, and I never kicked him out. I think he knew that things were going to change because I told him that things were going to change. And like when he heard that, he started acting differently. So, you know, it's one of those self-sabotaging, you know, type things. And Zukru, maybe the players you're going over. And before the show, get the Yahoo stats written down the way you don't have to refer to Yahoo in the show. Well, see, the thing is like there's so many waiver wire guys that we're going to be talking about for IDP. It'd be way too much to write down. That's really what it is. And it's only QB hits that sleeper doesn't show. That's really it. And if anybody wants to know percentages, you know, shit like that, I can easily go look it up because I have the website up where I have all the what's it called? All the correct percentages for every single player, snap percentages, offense and defense. One of the ones that I was really surprised about was Alan Lazard played 100% of snaps. So that is why, I mean, he's a really good blocker, you know, like that's one of his things. That was one of his things for sure. But yeah, Zucker, I want to figure this out. And that's what sucks is like there's no perfect fantasy football platform. Like that's one of the things that just really sucks is what it is. There's no perfect fantasy football platform. And I'm going to keep throwing it out there and throwing it out there and throwing it out there. If any of you guys know some rich guy who loves fantasy football and wants to create the best fantasy football app that has ever been invented, and he's got like 10 or 20 mil to go, we could build it. It'll be like the best thing ever. It'll be the best thing ever because you guys know how I am as fucking knowing every little piece about all these apps and everything. I know the good about every app and I know the bad about every app. And I want to take the good from every single app and eliminate the bad from every single app. And so if anybody knows any rich people out there, anybody knows any rich people out there who are into fantasy football, Let's do it. Let's do it. Oh, crispy. Oh man, that looks pretty tight though. Which one is that from? Is that your profile picture, or did you or is that your specific picture in just in that league? And fuck, dude, Crispy scored 439 points in one of these best ball leagues. Like, man, whoo, man, what a score! What a score! Yeah, I was getting annoyed with him always having to go into the matrix. Yeah, and it's because he would use his phone and not a computer. See, that's like another thing. So, I mean, I could go down the list of the things that I asked him about that never happened. And Rock Out, can you make sense of this trade? AR5 and Ford and McBride for Hall, Allen, Justice Hill. The Hall owner needs a QB. I don't know about giving up McBride. I mean, see, the thing is like when I look at that in like just the context of it, I mean, you got a QB, you got a running back, and you got a tight end on one, and then you got a better running back on one, a better QB on one, and then a way worse running back, on one. So I don't necessarily understand why giving up McBride, but like, I mean, I'm assuming Josh Allen, right? Like, I mean, it's not Keenan Allen, is it? Because you said especially because he needs a QB. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's, like a trade like this doesn't make much sense to me. Like, I really wouldn't make like a trade like this. I would kind of like stop people from making trades like this. But yeah, you just look at it. If the guy getting Hall and Allen, giving up McBride and Anthony Richardson, like, I mean, some upgrades. Oh shit, that was League 9. That wasn't best ball. Damn. Says Sundays are always dope with you, Huss. Always time to get smoked. About time to get smoking again. Let's go. Fall weather brings out the Mary Jane in me. I like it.
Smoke weed every day.
They said I thought maybe Bogey left the show because the 49ers choked in the Super Bowl and didn't want to hear it. I mean, it's a little different when someone's not stroking the 49ers off, because that's where all of the drama happened because of my takes on his 49ers. That's really where it all happened. Way too emotional talking about his 49ers. Toyota One said best ball, check 97. What happened over there? And Gabriel said, what's up, man? People declining trades in the Debo League, shaking my head. Just put it in the chat. And remember, if you lose, this is what happens. This is the league in there. Just put it in the chat. I'll get over there, and don't worry. And if people are still refusing to do it, I can make the move, to like take one person, take the people off and put it on the other. But yeah, people should already know what they signed up for. I won in one of them and I lost in one of them. Man, I was so close. I played a really good team though in the IDP one. All right, let's see. All right, Toyota One. What am I checking over here? Toyota One. The message from Watson. He put one. The reason why I didn't answer this one is because he put the exact same like question in another league, so I answered it there. So that's the reason why I didn't. Oh, your score. Oh shit. Let me see. What's your score over there? Oh shit. 461, motherfucker. Lamar Jackson, Barkley, Brian Robinson, Jameson Williams, Chris Godwin, Isaiah Likely, Nico Collins, Stephon Diggs, Tyler Lockett, Derek Carr, Julian Love, Robert Spillane, Devin Lloyd, Buda Baker. No, Trayvon Walker had a game. Damn it. And dude, man, hats off, bro. Woo, hats off, man. I know some things changed a little bit, like this year in the best ball. I don't remember if I've ever seen a score in above 450. Like, I don't know. I didn't check every single score from every single, week, like ever. But As of right now, I could say that's the highest score that I've ever saw with my eyes in this best ball tournament. Whoo, good shit, bro. Good shit. 460. Hold on. Not even going to round it off. 461.33. Fuck. Fuck, man. Woo. Good shit. Toyota won. Man. Whoo. And Jake said, should we be worried about Kincaid? Seems like it's going to be Allen and the Cook show. We should be worried about Kincaid for sure. I mean, Kincaid was one of the guys on my do not draft list this year. And it wasn't just because, it wasn't like everything added up. You know, Diggs is leaving, Gabe Davis, yada, 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 yada. But the person who didn't leave was Dawson Knox. And they had paid Dawson Knox. And he blocks more than Kincaid. So that's the reason why I was never really a fan of like trying to get Kincaid as the 5th or 6th tight end, like off the board, because that's what you pretty much had to get him as. Like shit, right after Andrews, who big flop. That's why I'm so like, for me, it was the top 3 tight ends, but then I put Kittle there. Like I put Kittle even above McBride. Maybe that was wrong, but I put Kittle above the Mark Andrews of the world, above the Kincaid like of the world. And I would be very worried about Kincaid right now. There's nobody that unless you go get Likely, there's nobody that you could go get who's going to give you a better chance of winning in your tight end spot, than Kincaid. But that's what sucks about the tight end position. So I would still be trying to make moves, and I wouldn't drop Kincaid, but this is not what we wanted to see in week 1. Everything from the Bills was kind of suspect. And it's not even like the Cardinals have like a really good, core of linebackers. I know I guess they do got some good safeties. So if they had the safeties, covering Kincaid and that's why he was blanketed, maybe I can understand that. I didn't watch that game. I didn't watch every snap of that game or anything. Every time the Bills had the ball, it was like Kincaid was nowhere to be found. And let's go see the snaps on him, because that'll be actually pretty interesting. Shit, Kincaid played 84% of the snaps, so maybe the teams were just accounting for him a little bit more. 84% of the snaps, though. I really feel like I'm not gonna super panic about that, especially when everybody kind of sucked target-wise. Keon Coleman, he got 5 targets. Besides that, 3 was the most. And it was Cook, Shakira, and that was it, who got 3 targets. And then there was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people who had 2 targets each. So I wouldn't fully panic on Kincaid. How about that? I wouldn't fully panic. And Juggernaut said, who should I grab off waivers? Ottencraft, Conquo. Fuck, none of these guys. None of these guys. Get Parkinson, dude. Get Parkinson. I'm assuming Likely is not available. I'm assuming Likely isn't that good of a shot for most people. That's why they might not even mention him. But Likely and Parkinson. Those are the 2, man. Those are the 2. Fuck all the other ones. The other ones are hella fluky and lucky. Likely and Parkinson are the only guys who could potentially get over 5 targets a game. John said, glad you talked me into the 3 QB and the Superflex IDP redrafts. Hell yeah, man. I'm playing in less redrafts than I was in the past. But redraft is still my favorite format. I really do like what's it called? Dynasty. It's fucking awesome. Fucking love Dynasty. But it is just there's just something about redraft. There's just something about redraft that I really like. And it's really because of everyone starting on an even playing field. That's what it is. And I know during the draft, someone's going to have the number 1 pick and someone's going to have the number 12 pick. But it's everybody's on the same wavelength, and everyone's trying to go for it now. Like in Dynasty, you may have, a good percentage of the league where they're like, I could try really hard, but I kind of want to like, be good for next year. Like this year, we're kind of throwing in the towel. So I'm not saying people throwing, games or anything like that, but just the mentality. Like in redraft, until you're like 0-4, 0-5, 0-6, like a lot of people don't mentally quit. I mean, I know some do. And trade Jameson Williams now, I think so. I think that was a real big outlier of the season. I know guys like our man Derek fucking love JMO and think that he's like, I don't know. They think that he's the man, but he's gonna get hurt because he always does. He's glass, dude. He always gets hurt. He even got hurt in that game. He just came back in. I would sell high. I mean, he's not even a waiver wire guy because he's owned in too many leagues. I would definitely sell high if I could. Trade JMO for someone who is trade JMO for someone who underperformed in week 1. Do something like that because he for sure overperformed, in week 1. Hey, what up, Chase? He said, I agree. Even if he doesn't get hurt, he's too dependent on the big play. Yeah, and I mean, he had a couple big plays. I mean, 2 big plays, I think, out of his, 4 catches or whatever. And it's just, I don't want to bank on that. Like, I do not want to bank on that, like, at all. That's really what it comes down to more than anything is I do not want to bank on the big play guy when you got Laporta and Amon-Ra, like over there. You got Laporta and Amon-Ra, like over there. And it's an outlier, man. I don't think that it's going to be a normal thing. That's what this comes down to. Man, someone just sent me a file, and I don't know why this is not fucking... Like, why is this not letting me upload to Canva? What the hell, dude? Sorry, guys. I got to... I just got a graphic that I'd been waiting on for a while, and I'm trying to upload it to Canva. And it says, don't worry, it's a problem on our end, but the shit's annoying because I just want it uploaded right now. All right. Hey, Justin. What up, homie? What up, bro? And Russ said, biggest thing to remember, it's only week 1. For sure. Players are going to shit the bed. Yeah, don't let, like, there's a couple, like, I got mad at myself for, like, messing up, my managerial duties and kind of, like, fucking things up like myself. But, things are going to work out. They always do. And I've started leagues 0-3, 0-4 and made it to the championship, So it's really just about working the waiver wires because, like, some people did good in week 1, but a lot of people did bad. So, like, a lot of people are probably feeling the same way that you are. Like there's some people who maybe they squeaked out a win that they didn't really deserve, and so they're just happy. Justin said 1-1 first week. Both best ball leagues said, damn, I didn't know it was a 2 QB league. He said pretty much a super flex of QB. Yes, for the most part. Did you not draft 2 QBs at all? Jake said Jameson Williams for Josh Jacobs. Maybe throw in Aaron Jones. I just feel like Jones is going to get hurt. He's splitting carries with Chandler. I mean, splitting carries? Let's see. I mean, Aaron Jones got 55% of the work. 55! Well, not 55% of the work, 55% of the snaps. And let's see. I mean, I guess the thing to remember, everybody splits carries with everybody, But yeah, Aaron Jones, 14 carries. I mean, I'm just saying, man, Ty Chandler had 8 carries for 17 yards. Aaron Jones had 14 carries for 94 yards. So, like a little bit of logic has to also come in play when, like, all touches aren't good touches. Like, they really aren't. Justin said, nope, I got 1 in a million IDPs. Oh, man. I tried the ones that need a few games to sort things out, but no worries yet. Yeah, exactly. Like September really works a lot of stuff out for us. September is the month where we figure out a lot, but it's also when there's a big time waiver wire guy, and we're going to go into that in a second. After I finish this bowl, we're jumping in. If there is a big waiver wire guy in September, that's the time to go hard. That's the time to spend a big percentage of your budget because a lot of people have the budget at that time. We're talking about fab. Giants Aaron Jones always split carries. Thunder Thighs got 40% of the work in Green Bay. Yeah. Jake said I won 116.6 to 117.3. I had Kincaid and Scary Terry starting. Whew. Just squeaked it out, bro. Russ said I shouldn't have won. I went into Monday needing 25 points and got 26 from my kicker. Good shit, dude. Definitely shouldn't have won, but we'll take it, right? We'll take it. And, there may be another game that you lose like hella close that you probably shouldn't lose, but some bullshit happens. And then this one, it like makes up for it. Like already, you're already on the right side of things. And Toyota One said, waivers for sure. Live and die on them. Definitely. Definitely. All right. Now, let me pull up Sleeper over here. All right. And actually, since we're going to use Sleeper over here, I might as well put the 420 crew logo and stuff over here just so it's showing up. Baker, what do you think about the trade and the Battle of the Brands? Didn't even know there was one there. Let me go look at it real quick. Let's go see. Man, I'm still pissed about Crispy beating me fucking by 1.5 points. I think you won this trade. Crazily, Bakes, because I would much rather have Keon Coleman than a Dunze. There we go. What the hell? Someone created a channel on here. Guess I got to figure out how to make a channel also on Sleeper. I don't know. Just another thing to have to worry about, though. And how do you feel about Harbaugh saying Henry won't ever get fed the ball this season? I don't believe it. I think it's coach speak. I think they're going up against one of the tougher run defenses in the league and one of the better defensive tackles like in the league. So I think it's bullshit. But no matter what, they want Henry for the playoffs. They could make it to the playoffs without Henry. They've done that before. So that is one of the things that kind of sucks, like, as well. And Jake said, Jamar Chase better not play with my emotions next week. He better not. He better not. He said he was willing to play the season without a deal, without a new deal. All right. Let's see here. Well, okay. Probably gonna have to do this so we get more players in the mix here. Okay. And maybe I'll just keep this in the background until I bring up the player, and then I just pull them up on the screen. That could be a thing. Let me see what the defense looks like over here. Man, I wonder what the difference is between the sleeper. Let's see. Chicago 24, Chicago 25, Minnesota 22. I guess it is pretty. I mean, it's very similar. Not sure what the difference is. Looks like it's like 1 point higher on sleeper. What up, Matt? What up, bro? Better pick up to fill in for love. Tua, T-Law, or Baker. Hold on. Because T-Law and Tua were not even on my, not even on my waiver wire. What's it called? T-Law versus the Browns and Tua. Tua's got the Bills on Thursday night. I'm taking Tua versus the Bills. I mean, look at what Kyler did out there. It's a short week, and the Bills are going to be the ones traveling. I'd pick up Tua. I'd pick up Tua and start him on Thursday night. There we go. Okay. Oh. All right. You know what? Let me go refill my water really quick. And then we're going to kick off all the waiver wire stuff. Oh, we already got news about that? Looks like Fields starting week 2 as well versus the Broncos. Oh. Did news just come in right now about it? Let's see. Oh, Tomlin says, as I sit here today, we're preparing as Justin Fields as our QB. Man, that's ugly. That's ugly. I'll throw that out. Yeah, just a sleeper blurb. Yeah, I saw it right now. I mean, what did Fields even do this past week? It was so trash. So trash. 156. I mean, really, it's the 14 for 57 for all those people who still play in the 4-point passing leagues. I'm going to talk about Fields. I'm going to say you shouldn't even pick him up. That's what I'm going to do. All right. Very short and sweet. Very short and sweet here. All right. Let me close some of these things in the background. I got so many things open right now. Let's close them all out. Okay. All right. Here we go. Let me get my notes up. Get my notes up here. Okay. All right. Here we go. Damn it. I do gotta. Actually, let me see. If I put it in here, I don't have to. I can just look back here later. All right, hold on 1 second, because now I'm going to get one more thing open here so I can keep putting timestamps in here. All right. Okay. Here we go. Here we go. All right. Let's jump into the QB waiver wire ads for the week. And I'm going to start each position that I do with the flavor of the week. And you already know the flavor of this week is going to be Baker Mayfield. Now, on Sleeper here, he's rostered in 19% of leagues. A lot of dynasty numbers, but on Yahoo and other platforms, it's more around the 35% range. He's the flavor of the week for me. I mean, when you go 289 yards through the air and 4 touchdowns, people are going to like you. People are going to like you. And they got the Lions in week 2. Maybe not the best matchup, but I still like him to throw a lot. And then they got the Broncos in week 3, not necessarily the best matchup, but I think he's going to be throwing it either way. And Chris Godwin looked amazing out of the slot. And Mike Evans, I mean, doing Mike Evans things with his 2 touchdowns over there. So yeah, Baker Mayfield, you could do a lot worse. 35% rostered. I think you can pick him up and start him. There's a lot of QBs that got drafted who Baker could start over right now. And even if you're just picking him up to add him on your bench, go ahead and do that. Go ahead and do that. Swoop him up.
Pick him up.
There we go. There's Baker. Number 1 pickup, the flavor of the week for sure at the QB position. And here we go. I got 3 quarterbacks that I'm picking up with confidence this week. Baker Mayfield was one of them. He's the one I'm the most confident in. But the guy who I'm second most confident in, Derek Carr, people are hating on him a lot. And it shows here 42% rostered on Sleeper. It's a lot of dynasty. But I go to Yahoo for my redraft percentages, and he's only 10% rostered in redraft leagues on Yahoo. So he's very, very available. 3 touchdowns, very, very efficient with the passes as well. He's not going to be playing the Panthers every week. So that is one thing that sucks because he is going up against the Cowboys, and the Cowboys D looked very nice this past week, but I'd still start him. They're going to be throwing it a lot. If they're down at all, that just means he's going to be throwing it even more. So we do like that because it could be some garbage time. And then week 3, they got the Eagles. Not the best matchup, but you would assume for a game like that, a little bit of garbage time at the end. So hopefully you drafted a QB where you don't have to go pick up one of these guys. But if you do, you could do a lot worse than Derek Carr. That's for sure. All right. And not looking to start him anywhere, but I'm glad to have him as my 4th QB in the 3 QB league. Bro, I got Derek Carr as my 4th QB in a 3 QB league as well. And I could have sold him for like a somewhat shitty price. Like right before the season, I could have upgraded like one of my flex spots, but I didn't want to do that. I knew that he was going to have more value, especially in that 3 QB league. So I held on, and value skyrocketed now. Value has skyrocketed now. All right, here we go. Let's continue. There we go. I got one other QB that I would pick up with confidence, and a lot of it is because of the cast around him, not necessarily because of him, but it's Geno Smith. Oh yeah, and I mean 171 yards in the opening, not the best versus the Broncos. And there was a big portion of the game where they were kind of just playing very conservative, and they didn't even really have to throw it. They were playing with the lead, and so that's that was one of those things. I mean, Ken Walker got a lot of work, like in the end until he got hurt. But he did get a passing TD and a rushing TD. And so if that's going to be a thing where he could potentially mix in a rushing TD, we love it even more. Got the Patriots in week 2, and then you got the Dolphins in week 3. Patriots might not be the best matchup. I mean, that is for sure. Might not be the best matchup for him. But Dolphins, I mean, should be decent. Should be throwing it a lot as well. And so you could do a lot worse than Geno. Shows here in Sleeper, 68% roster. That's because a lot of dynasties. In redraft leagues on Yahoo, it's around the 32% range. So very, very available in redraft leagues and, leagues that are not dynasty leagues on Sleeper. So yeah, Geno Smith, you could do a lot worse picking up this week. How about this? You can do a lot worse than Geno Smith. So add him this week if you need to. That sounded better. Dimitri, do we start Sharbs? We got to wait. I haven't got to the running backs yet. We got to wait though, because we got to know the news on the abdomen. That's what we got to find that out. And Sinus Rinch, you still over there? I didn't even see this. Came up a couple minutes ago. Put a comment in, so I know you're still here. Said Aaron Jones and Kyron Williams did good finally. What do you think about Rachaad White now? Kind of what I thought about him before. Like he's kind of like a mid-level 2 like type of guy. And we'll like him in certain matchups, but we won't like him in all matchups. He's going to be getting a lot of pass work though. So that is one of the things, or a lot of receiving work. He's going to be getting a lot of receiving work. So that is one thing that I like about him, that probably will keep his floor high no matter what. Probably will keep his floor high no matter what. Hey, Rush Lord, what up, bro? And hey, how about that streaming service, bro? Did you get everything hooked up? You make your way around, do a little tour, see everything that's available outside of football, since you'd be using it in week 2 for football. Okay, I got one more QB over here, and then we'll smoke a bowl, and then we'll transition to the RBs. Okay. Here we go. Now, on a lot of these waiver wire sections, I'm going to throw the dart throws in there. Guys who are rostered in a little bit less of leagues. Sam Darnold, you see here, he's only rostered in 3% of sleeper leagues. That's pretty bad, even for dynasty leagues. But those single QB leagues, you wouldn't be going down as far as Darnold. In redraft leagues, he's about 10% rostered, and not a good matchup in week 2, going up against the 49ers. I mean, really bad matchup, to be specific. But you could do a lot worse than him moving down the road. And let's say he does go out there and throw for 2 touchdowns against the 49ers. Even if he doesn't have a good outing, yardage wise, his value's still going to rise. And with a guy like Justin Jefferson out there with him to throw to, I mean, it makes his life a lot easier, most of the time. So that's the one thing that I'm going to say about Darnold. I mean, I don't love him. 208 yards. He did have 2 touchdowns in week 1, but he's going up against the Giants, a little bit of a difference between the Giants and the 49ers, caliber of defense. But like I said, you're picking up a guy like Sam Darnold. It's going to be more like a speculative ad for the future. And yeah, shitty game going up against the 49ers. But even if he has a somewhat halfway decent game, he's going to be one of the flavors of the week going into week 3 versus the Texans. Texans have a good defense, but it seems like because their offense and everything, they showed they can give up the big play, and that's who he's got 2 weeks from now. So Sam Darnold, it's a dart throw and someone that you're going to put on your bench and not play this week, but more of a long-term ad. Darnold Schwarzenegger, there you go. And if it's your first time watching the waiver wire videos with me, hit that subscribe button and click on any one of the videos that's popping up right now, because we got all the other positions. Click it, click it, click it, click it, click it. There we go. QBs in the books. There we go. And all right, let's smoke a bowl. And Rush Lord said, yes, sir. The streaming is mint. Glad to hear it, bro. Glad to hear it. And I know it's I know you haven't been around here, for a super long time, Rush Lord, but I'm telling people it's my goal to get people who know, who use the streaming service to actually go see what else is on there. Because you could literally cancel every app that you have. You could cancel cable. You can cancel all that shit just for this one app. That's $40 a month. You can only use it on one device for $40 a month, but it's only an extra $10 to add additional devices. You can use up to 5 devices. Got to add $40 for that. But even that, $80 to use on 5 different devices, 5 different TVs in your house, a combination of 5 TVs in your house, a computer, a phone, all those kind of things. And Josh said, Darnold or Minshew on my bench for the stash. Dude, so the reason why I didn't mention Minshew this week, I guess I probably could. He just had, you know what? I am going to mention Minshew, and I'll mix him in, and I'll throw him in because he does deserve to be to be mentioned. He's not rostered like at all, and they have a shit matchup this week versus the Ravens. And I think that's why I didn't put him on there. Let me go see what he's rostered in Yahoo. Yeah, 5%. Here we go. Let me do this real quick. Now, before we get into the last QB for the week, here's another dart throw. Gardner Minshew going up against the Chargers. I mean, it wasn't the best game by anybody's standards, but he did have over 250 yards. He's got the Ravens this week, so it's a horrible matchup. But this is another add-in stash, type of guy. He lost a fumble. Those are the things that we're going to have to deal with Gardner Minshew, turnovers. But, we should be getting some of these big plays in as well. And he has Baltimore this week, but he has Carolina the week after. And freaking Carolina made Derek Carr look like Joe Montana or something. So, yeah, Gardner Minshew, even if you're adding him and stashing him for week 3 because your QB in week 3 doesn't have a good matchup, you could do a lot worse than Gardner Minshew. But we're not playing him in week 2 versus the Ravens. He's only 5% rostered in Yahoo redraft leagues. I'm sure it's very similar on ESPN and NFL. And you look here, he's only rostered in 3% of leagues on Sleeper. And so, yeah, Gardner Minshew, he's going to be one of those stash dart throw guys. But go ahead and do it. You could do a lot worse than the stash Minshew himself. There we go. And thanks, Toyota One. Yeah, I should have put Gardner Minshew in there. It adds another minute of content, and Gardner Minshew, he's already on radars, on our type of radar, but only 5% rostered in these single QB leagues, man. Like, that's just, it's insane. Justin says Malik Willis worth picking up. You know what? I'm going to do one more segment right now, and I'm going to say no, don't. But thank you for that. And I'm even going to put him before the dart throw, guys. All right, so I got 2 dart throw guys that are coming up. But here's someone that I got to mention because I feel like a lot of people are going to think Malik Willis is going to be the flavor of the week. He is so bad at the quarterback position. I don't care if you have Justin Love. I don't care if you have Jordan Love. Go get somebody else because Malik Willis ain't him. He was good in college. He's been bad ever since he came to the NFL. Do you remember that he was so bad that the Titans picked up Josh Dobbs off of another team's practice squad? Pretty sure it was the Browns practice squad to come play on a Thursday night on short rest above Malik Willis because he was so bad. So bad. So don't pick him up. If you think that he's going to be good, pick him up as trade bait. Pick him up and trade him to the Jordan Love manager if that's not you, and try to get a wide receiver or a running back. Try to do that. That would be the move for for Malik Willis, not to pick him up and actually play him. I know he's going up against the Colts, and that's not like a really bad matchup. Don't start him. Don't pick him up and start him. Pick him up and trade him. That's all you should do with them. And nobody's probably going to trade you for him. So unless you're in a super flex league. So do what you can. If you're in a dynasty, pick him up. Try to trade him right away. That's the only value that he's going to have for us. There we go. See, that's why I like you. That's why I like doing these videos live. Because, see, just like that. Like, if I would have done this when you guys weren't in here, I wouldn't have done Gardner Minshew, but literally since you asked about him, Toyota One, like it made me have to put him on there. And then same thing with you, Justin. Like I wasn't even going to talk about Malik Willis because I don't think people should pick him up, but it's good for me to talk about him there. If you're going to pick him up and trade him to the Jordan Love manager. That's the only thing you should do with them. So thank you guys for being in here and helping the show. And he said, just stash because my home league has like 2-3 QBs. That's, some of the home leagues, even in single QB leagues, like, people like hoarding the QBs so there's none on waivers. And I feel that. Like, I don't think anyone should be able to go to the waivers and pick up a dope ass quarterback. Like, I don't think anybody should be able to go to the waivers and pick up Baker Mayfield. Like, that's crazy that he's available in leagues. He said that's why I'd be trying to get back up on a bye week, bad matchup type hype. Yeah, for sure. For sure. All right. Moving on to running backs. And what do you guys think? Is this good? I mean, I guess I like it having, just the picture of the one person up versus like having the big list of people that I'm going off of. And what up, Chelsea? Any advice on Curtis Samuel or Yoshivas? They're both on my bench. Yoshivas is probably droppable. Curtis Samuel, I would hold for another week. But if Keon Coleman is the guy, like Curtis Samuel's still dealing with turf toe. Like even though he logged in full practices, he's still dealing with it. Like you could tell. And so this may be something where we don't like Curtis Samuel for a few weeks. He said, what did he say? He said, definitely, we saw it last night. Wilson got tons of volume. Would expect the same thing for Justin Jefferson. Yeah, definitely. And said, or 2 on my waivers. So who was it? What was the question? I know you were talking about picking up 2 off your waivers. Was it who you were going to drop? And said, I like the concept, 1 player on the screen. Okay, perfect. And then it makes it a little easier because it makes it easier for me to edit because then every time that I'm talking is this screen. So it makes it real easy for me to go from one segment to one segment, like super easy. Yeah, because that's really what I'm trying to do like this year. I got to figure out ways to make things more efficient. I know I do a lot of smoking and talking like with you guys, but I got to figure out ways to make, certain segments easier for me to edit because like editing can't take up like half of my day. And I do a lot of editing because all these videos, I mean, shit, we're doing QBs, wide receivers, running backs, tight ends, defensive players. So it's going to be like 3 segments, kind of in one. And then defense and special teams Oh, and you know what? For the running backs, think it'll be good. Make sure I know the snap percentages and stuff. But yeah, I got multiple screens up right now that we're working to do all this. And Chelsea said, thank you. I wanted to pick up Lazard, but have Breece Hall, Wilson too. Not smart. Well, here's the thing. He's the flavor. I'm going to be talking about wide receivers next. I'm going into running backs right now, and I got like 4 running backs or 5 running backs, I think. And then we're going to go into wide receivers, and I got like 4 or 5 wide receivers that I'm talking about. And Allen Lazard is going to be the flavor of the week. We want to grab as many of the flavors of the week as we can because they're trade bait. And that's really what it is. So, yeah, Chelsea, like I'm not saying you want to roster like everybody on the Jets, but Allen Lazard's the flavor of the week. You're probably not going to start all 3 of them, but what if, someone is really hurting for a wide receiver and you had a higher waiver claim than them and you got Allen Lazard and now they want Allen Lazard and they're like, they got a bunch of running backs and you're like, hey, I'll trade you Allen Lazard for one of these running backs. They're like, all right, fine. And like, so that's why you want to pick up these flavors of the week. It's not always necessarily just to play them. I mean, waiver wires, this is like the stocks, we got to really treat the, it sucks to kind of say like, treat these guys like stocks, but their value works like stocks, and Allen Lazard's value is on the up and up like right now. So, that's what you got to be thinking about. It's all the psychology of why we're picking players up. It's not always just to pick up to play. And we're not going to drop really good players to pick up these flavors of the week. That's not what I'm saying. But everybody should have a couple bench spots where you're like, as soon as a waiver wire guy comes up, this guy's off my roster. Everybody should have a couple guys like that, at least one or two that you could do that with. And if you have a kicker in your league or a defense or something, drop the kicker, pick up the flavor of the week. Maybe you trade that flavor of the week and maybe you package a 2-for-1 deal, get a better player. You pick up that flavor of the week. Now you have an extra player on your team right now. You trade 2 players for 1, you level up, and then you go pick up your kicker before the games on Sunday or whatever, but a lot of reasons why we pick up, but we pick up people to potentially trade for sure. You want as much value on your bench as you can get, even if you don't have a reason to play that value. We want the more valuable guys there. Russell said, I got 2 defense on my roster. We'll drop 1 to pick up 2. Okay. Yeah, there you go. Do it. He said, I got one guy on my IR, and Jonathan Brooks, right? I'm assuming not Jordan Brooks. And Crispy said maybe Dortch over Thielen because Young is ass. I mean, Dortch was the leader on their squad. I'm going to be talking about him when I get to the wide receivers. And said, yeah, for sure. No one traded last year. Okay. Well, and seeing people trade when they need to. People trade when they need to, not when they want to in redraft. So you got to wait for the right person to be like 0-2, 0-3. They start panicking, and then they trade away a big time player that isn't doing that well. Like at the time, all kinds of things like that can happen. And hey, shout out to Max on IG. What up, homie? Rush Lord said, Hess, I got the number 1 waiver wire. Should I get Dobbins? If I do, I drop from the number 1 to the number 10. Oh yeah. I mean, that's the way it works. Here's my thoughts about the waiver wire. Weeks 1 through 4 or weeks 2 through 4, in September, fuck the waiver. Like use that claim, get these guys, because these are guys that should have been drafted, but we didn't necessarily know what they were going to be, and so we're getting them right now. And like when it gets past September, then I'll probably tell people, hold on to that waiver claim, like save it for a more important person, see if you can get people off of waivers. But right now in September, you burn that waiver to try to get these guys who could be potential league winners. And J.K. Dobbins is a potential league winner, like right now. Like if he ends up outright winning this number 1 spot, like over Gus, him and Gus got very similar touches. Gus had 1 more touch than J.K. Dobbins did. But you know what J.K. Dobbins had more than Gus Edwards? Snaps. J.K. Dobbins played 58% of the snaps. Not something that we like. So, yes, I would burn that number 1 waiver priority on J.K. Dobbins, especially if you need the running back. You need a wide receiver. I don't even know if I would use it on like Alan Lazard or whatever, like unless you knew that you were going to trade him to someone. I'd use it on JK though. Yeah. What up, dope? And Stradla, Karen, should I trade Brees for Amon-Ra? No. You shouldn't be trading a top running back for a top wide receiver. You should be trying to figure out how to get those guys on the same team. Don't trade 1 for 1 like that. Figure out how you can trade Keon Coleman and fucking Rice or Dell. Like trade 2 of those guys for Amon-Ra. Do something like that. Take like the flavors of week 1, take 2 of them, package them up, try to get Amon-Ra. That's how you do it, man. You got to keep tiering up. Trading your top tier guys for top tier guys. I mean, that's nice if you want to go cheer for the other guy. The goal is to get as top heavy as possible throughout this year. That's the goal. And you don't get top heavy by trading away your top heavy players, even if it is for another top heavy player. So that's what you want to do, Doe. Don't trade Brees for Amon-Ra. Figure out how to trade Dell or Rice and fucking Keon Coleman or something like that, like some flavors that hit a little bit, in week 1, because people trade with emotion. And if you offer 2 or 3 players that look really nice and Amon-Ra just had a shitty week, sometimes people will emotionally just hit okay. It happens. And so the guys in my league gave me shit for not having a kicker on my roster. I waited to see, picked him up in the game, and then 4 of them picked him up. It's all strategy for sure, man. For sure. Like, what the fuck do you need a kicker midweek for? Especially if you're going to probably pick up a different kicker anyways. And you won because of it. Is this the league where you picked up the 49ers fucking kicker and won on Monday night? I mean, that's one of the best strategies that you could deploy that's one of the best strategies that you could deploy if you play in a league with kickers. Hey, what up, Andre? Says guy wants to do a chase for Amon Ra. He said swap straight up. Yeah, I mean, people want to do that. Don't do it. Hell yeah, bro. Juggernaut said Olave only had 2 targets. Should I be worried? No, because the Panthers, even though their D is pretty shitty, they still have, who the hell is their number 1 cornerback over there? Hold on, I'm blanking on the name, but they have a really good number 1 cornerback. So like you can eat everywhere else, especially the tight ends, man. You're gonna be able to eat against them, but they have, it's Michael Jackson and JC Horn, and solid. I mean, not amazing by any standards, but solid. And then even having Troy Hill as a nickel, that is still pretty solid for their top 3, cornerbacks. That's I mean, the tight ends were eating. So like that's just going to be one of those things. Like Panthers, you might not have the best wide receiver cornerback matchups, but tight end linebacker, tight end safety like matchups, like Panthers are going to be the team that you'll be able to stream tight ends against. Yeah. And what Jacob said, what up, bro? He said Jaden rushing really helps his floor. You think he's a top 10, 12 option moving forward? Because of the rushing, like in the 4 QB leagues, I kind of, but if he can't get better at throwing, it's just like this style doesn't win championships, like a lot of times, because like towards the end of the season, people are going to be doing things to bottle him up, like, he caught some people by surprise in like week 1 or whatever, but that's the tough thing though. That's the tough thing. So 4-point passing touchdown leagues, like, he definitely could be in the mix though for top 12-ish option. Big Bando, what up, homie? Keenan Allen, Palmer, Watson, Shaheed, which 2 do I want to hold on to? Damn. Like, well, tell me why. Are you going to drop 2 of them, or are you going to try to trade 2 of them? Because, I mean, Watson kind of sucks right now with, with Jordan Love going now. He's going to be out for 4 weeks. So, I mean, all the Packers wide receivers are probably going to be trash over the next couple weeks, like minus a couple random, bigger-ish plays. Because I don't think, like, not saying they won't score a passing touchdown while Jordan Love's gone, but man, Malik Willis is trash, dude. Like, he really is. Like, he might not throw a passing touchdown for these 2 weeks. But yeah, so tell me why. Tell me why. What's the reason of what you should hold on to? Gonna try to put a package together for a bigger play. I mean, that's the thing. Like, if you're gonna do something like that, I mean, put Keenan Allen in there, and I mean, Shaheed's not gonna do this like all the time. Like, I like Shaheed, but he's not gonna have games like this like all the time. So he should be one of the pieces that you put in there and try to level up with. Andre said, I got Josh Allen. I really want Keon Coleman on waivers for the stack. Who should I drop off my bench? Mason, Monty, Javante. Fuck, dude. Like, you should try to trade one of those guys. Like, man, because I mean, I feel like the guy who's going to have the least amount of value out of everybody is probably going to be Javante. But I mean, he's a starting running back, but it's going to be trash, dude. Like, Bo Nix is not good. Like, he is not good compared to the starters out there. And like, that's what's happening, man. Like, yeah, if I'm going to drop one, it's going to be Javante. Ridley's gonna suck though too, because of Levis, man. Levi sucks, dude. Sucks. Coach C, what up, homie? What up, bro? Austin said, Huss, would you take JT for Monty and Godwin? I'd get JT. Probably not. Probably not. I think getting Godwin so late, you're a winner chicken dinner on that, and he's going to get a shitload of targets out of the slot again. So, no, I don't think so. I don't think so. And Anthony Richardson's going to bogart a bunch of those rushes, so that's another reason why I don't want JT. Or at least I don't want to, like, you know, pay up for him. And Michael said I traded Brian Thomas, Amari Cooper, and Najee for Ayuk and Connor. I said, did I sell? I mean, it's all right. I wouldn't have done a trade like that, but it's okay. Okay, so I agree. I was leaning on holding. Yeah, just hold for now. So would you trade Shaheed and Dowdle for Warren? No, man, you're setting your sights way too low, bro. You're setting your sights way too low. Way too low. Think higher. Think higher. I mean, I'm not saying that someone would take Shaheed and Dowdle for higher, but you need to be thinking about higher caliber of players, not someone like Warren. And what up, Jason? He said 1 by 30. He said no one guy in my league trying to sell Kenneth Walker. Would you sell him? Tank Dell straight up. I don't know. Coach C said 3 ads is wild. What? 3 ads? We're gonna have to make it not so aggressive. I don't know why it's being so aggressive. I think YouTube has different what's it called? Different levels of you could change how the ads go. It said Vikings clear $7 million cap and restructure the TJ Hawkinson contract. Okay. Big Bando, what do you think about Shaheed and Dowdle for Devontae Adams? I mean, see, but now you're thinking the right way. Like, I don't know if anybody would do that, but that's how you should be thinking for sure and be putting together packages like that. Coach C said, how'd your first week go? More wins than losses. More wins than losses. But I took a couple big losses that outweigh a lot of the wins. So kind of annoying. But I got a whole big spreadsheet where I go put in all my my records and stuff, so I can see what I'm at, like for the season. All right, here we go. Waiver wire, running back waiver wires. Here we go. Running back waiver wire ads. Here we go. Realistically, what kind of player you think Monty and Godwin package could get me? We'll see. Like, the thing is, like, I guess I don't even like answering questions like that, because you need to find a trade partner. Like, that's what it is. People get so focused on, like, man, I really want to get this one player, or I really want to trade these players away. It doesn't work like that. Like, I mean, it does. Like, that's the whole concept of trading. But you have to find the manager that needs something. You have to find that manager. And then the players may change. But finding a trade partner is going to be, and making a trade is going to be way easier than saying, I want to specifically trade these 2 players for somebody, because throw those guys on the way, on the what's it called? On the trade block, see what comes in, because you have no idea what's going to come in. But when you put people on the trade block, you know, like that, a lot of times people think you don't like them. They think you're desperate, whatever. And they send you desperation style trades. So that's why it's a lot better if you go search out the manager that lost this week, not someone who won. Search out someone who lost, and it's because of a couple of their players, you know, really shit the bed. So right now, guys, going to end up with more points. Keenan Allen or Devontae? I mean, probably Devontae. I mean, a little bit of a better QB. The guy I'm trading with. Best players are A-Chain, Collins, and St. Brown's. That help a little. Yeah, those are the only guys that you should want off of his team. And, like, maybe you have to throw in a third player to make it happen, but you're going to tear up a lot. Like, that's what it is. So that, you know, that you only want to go after people's, like, best players, you know, with these trades. Like, unless you are desperate for a trade. If you're trading for want right now, you should want the best. If you're trading for need, sometimes you need to lower your expectations to get someone in the flex or whatever. All right. Jason said, gotta go to class. Just wanted to send the good vibes, light them up. Appreciate you, homie. Appreciate you, bro. And let's jump in to the running backs. Now we are jumping into the running back position. If you didn't see the QB waiver wire video, it should be popping up somewhere at the end, but go check it out. And we got a handful of running backs here to show you, 5 to be specific. And the flavor of the week, of course, is going to be J.K. Dobbins. Like this, he's probably the flavor of the week for every single position in all of fantasy. And I mean, the stats, it was nice. It was nice. I mean, he had 10 rushes for 135 yards. I mean, over 13 yards per carry. Had the big touchdown. It was like a 60-yarder. Three receptions, only 4 yards. But if he's going to get mixed in a couple receptions, you know, that's really nice as well. The one thing that I will say about J.K. Dobbins on why I like him more than Gus Edwards, because Gus Edwards did get one more carry than he did. Way more efficient. I mean, one of them was that 60-yard rushing TD. But how about the snap percentage? He got 58% of the snaps compared to Gus Edwards getting 42% of the snaps. So if that's just a trend of things to come, J.K. Dobbins probably will slowly start getting more and more carries and, you know, targets and separate himself that way in Gus Edwards. So if you got the number one waiver claim, J.K. Dobbins is the guy to pick up. J.K. Dobbins is the guy to pick up. Let me repeat. Even if you're picking him up to trade him or something, this is going to be the one that everybody is going after out of all positions is running back, and J.K. Dobbins is going to be the guy this week. So pick up the flavor of the week if you can. There we go. And Coach C said, when are these dropping? Shit, as soon as I get off this show, I'm editing them and I'm throwing them up. So the people who are here, you know, you get a lot of, you know, you get a little behind the scenes, you get, you know, a little bit of insight, can ask questions like as well. But yeah, they'll be up pretty quick. Harbaugh's going to feed this man all season long. Yeah. Yeah. He's got to keep them both healthy though. My number 2 guy on the list here for the RBs, and he's going to be a very, very popular waiver wire ad out of all the positions as well. High priority on Zach Charbonnet. And we got to be monitoring Ken Walker's injury. So he has an abdomen injury right now. It says day to day. We won't hear anything until earliest Wednesday as far as like the injury report goes. And Ken Walker, someone we're probably going to be needing to monitor all the way through Friday, potentially even game time. So Zach Charbonnet is a good speculative ad. He didn't get a whole bunch of work. I mean, only 8 rushes, 12 yards. I mean, that's nothing. But he had the 2 receptions for 29 yards, and he did get the touchdown, you know, so could be a lot worse than Charbonnet going into week 2. But if you have Ken Walker in a redraft and you don't have Charbonnet, you better make him your top priority. I mean, you could make J.K. Dobbins your top priority as well, you know, but if you have Ken Walker and he doesn't play, Charbonnet is going to be a really good substitute, and he's going to be on high priority for a lot of people. So pick him up.
Pick him up!
Andre said, man, that injury worries me a little. Yeah. Are you talking about Ken Walker? Or are you talking about Gus Edwards, J.K. Dobbins? Because those guys, they have Mr. Injuries. I mean, we could call those guys. My number 3 running back on the list, I think a lot of people are more hyped on this guy than me, Justice Hill, because he didn't get an insane amount of work, but he was getting a lot of receptions on third down. He ends up with 6 receptions out of his 8 targets, and I mean, 52 yards. So, I mean, it wasn't 11 points, you know, I mean, it's nothing like insane, but I guess just the taking the work aspect from Henry, you know, like that's the reason why a lot of people would want to go pick him up. And 4% rostered in redraft. I mean, we got a lot of dynasty here. So when you see me say 4%, that's going to be redraft Yahoo numbers. You see on here, because of dynasty, he's 50% rostered in sleeper. So I don't like the sleeper percentages because everybody's rostered in dynasty. Justice Hill, they got the Raiders this week. So decent matchup, you know, for him, but also that means a really decent matchup for Henry, you know, as well. And then they got the Cowboys in week 3. So Justice Hill, kind of more of a dart throw to me But if you're putting in, your waiver claims on J.K. Dobbins, 51% rostered, and then Zach Charbonnet, 48% rostered, they already might not be available in your leagues because of that. And they're going to be the flavors of the week that everybody's trying to add. So what I like to do, I'm still going to put in the waiver claims on the J.K. Dobbins, the Zach Charbonnet, but I will put in duplicate waivers for a guy like Justice Hill with the same players that I would be dropping from a J.K. Dobbins, from a Zach Charbonnet. And if you don't get one of those, then you might be able to get Justice Hill as one of the options that you get for the week. What up, Flash? Thoughts on this trade? I sent Evans and Zeke for A-Chain Ridley standard score. I don't like it because I'd rather keep Evans in standard. I mean, 2 touchdowns, man. PPR don't matter, so I mean that takes away a little bit of A-Chain. And Andre said Walker because he's my starter. I don't have the Sharps cuff. Ooh, okay, well, it's gonna be one of the guys that you're targeting, right? And Russell said Hill valuable until Keaton Mitchell returns. Yeah, for sure. And I mean, we don't know exactly when Keaton Mitchell is going to return, but we know he's on the pup. We know he's missing at least 4 weeks. That we do know. All right. And I need to make sure to pull up the percentages for this one here. Okay. All right, we made it through the top 3: J.K. Dobbins, Zach Charbonnet, Justice Hill. We're continuing with the dart throws because Charbonnet and J.K. Dobbins, those are the guys who I'm really only picking up with confidence. The rest of these guys are going to be dart throws, like Justice Hill was, dart throw to me. Bucky Irving, dart throw to me. He played 31% of the snaps. He got 9 rushes for 62 yards, and that was more rushes and more yards than Rachaad White got, but Rachaad White got a lot more in the receiving department. That's why I don't think that Bucky Irving is going to steal value away from Rachaad White. I think this is more of a dart throw, a speculative ad, just in case anything happens, because they obviously like Bucky Irving. I mean, he did get 2 receptions as well off of his 2 targets. I mean, only 14 yards, so I mean, nothing crazy. He got 31% of the snaps in his very first game, and him and Rachaad White, I mean, they pretty much split because Rachaad White played 70% of the snaps. And I don't maybe it continues to get a little bit more even, but I think, Bucky Irving, he's a speculative ad. He's 21% rostered in redraft. It's crazy because here on Sleeper, it says 0% rostered, 0% started. So there's just a bunch of redraft leagues and a bunch of dynasty leagues, apparently, where Bucky Irving's not even rostered in. But I think you could do a lot worse than him if you're picking up, some dart throw to put on your bench. They got the Lions in week 2, and then they got the Broncos in week 3. So really, like I said, more of a dart throw than anything, but he's a decent dart throw. That's for sure. Coach C said need a tight end, top ranking, likely if I can get him, Parkinson. I mean, those are the 2 right there. Those are the 2, likely and Parkinson. Everybody else, I mean, fuck, it's gonna be trash either way. Whoever is the tight end going up against the Panthers, just remember that you need someone to pick up any week. Any week, you need someone to pick up the tight end going up against the Panthers. For sure. Just remember that. Keep that info in your back pocket all year. My last running back, this guy is a big dart throw as well. If we were talking about playing Pokemon, Jamal Williams, he might be the first guy picked up out of anybody that we're talking about. But when we're talking about running back waiver wise, I mean, he's the last guy that we're talking about picking up here. But I'm saying if you're hurting for a running back, pick him up. Nonetheless, they're not going to be playing the Panthers every week, and he's not going to be getting 11 rushes every week. He did get 38 yards. He did get a rushing touchdown. They do like him enough maybe to give him, a couple red zone shots after Kamara, gets him all the way down and gets hella tired. I mean, it's a big dart throw. It's a big dart, though, because he's not playing the Panthers, every week. I mean, they got Dallas and Philly in the next 2 weeks, so definitely not the best. And they're probably not going to be winning those games, like they were against the Panthers. But I'm just saying, if you are super desperate, go get the Pokemon freak, Jamal Williams.
Pick him up!
And if this is your first time here watching the waiver wire videos with me, hit that subscribe button and click one of the waiver wire videos popping up right now. Click it. We got all positions. We got IDP. We got defense and special teams. Everything. Just go watch all the videos. Peace out. There we go. Running backs in the books. I'm trying to speed this up a little bit now too, because I still got to go edit all these. And we got 1, 2, 3, 4 more sets of positions to come. All right. Let's see. What are we at? 152, 15. Here we go. Wide receiver waiver wire ads. Let's jump into the wide receiver waiver wire ads. And let me tell you, the wide receiver flavor of the week is for sure going to be Allen Lazard. I mean, 26 points. Okay. 9 targets, 6 receptions, 89 yards, and had the 2 big touchdowns. Now, if that wasn't enough of a reason to grab him, one of the reasons why you really want to grab him, 100% of snaps, he never leaves the field because he is a very good blocker. Didn't come into play too much last night. I mean, I'm sure he was out there blocking, but, for like Brees and all that, just trying to make a joke. But here's the one thing that I will say about Allen Lazard, okay? If they're going up against teams with shitty cornerbacks, I'm Garrett Wilson's going to eat, but if they're going up against a team kind of like next week, the Tennessee Titans got L'Jarius Sneed. He's going to take on Garrett Wilson the entire game. I'm not saying that Garrett Wilson is going to get a big fat 0, but L'Jarius Sneed is going to make him work out there. And I bet that Garrett Wilson doesn't have an insane game, next week. And I bet Allen Lazard is wide open on a bunch of plays because Garrett Wilson's getting so much attention over there. So Allen Lazard for this week.
Pick him up!
They got the Titans in week 2 and they got the Patriots in week 3. So Allen Lazard, you could do a lot worse than, and he's the flavor of the week. If someone needs a wide receiver, they are going for this guy. So I would say go for this guy, drop someone, maybe potentially trade this person. A lot of people are going to need a wide receiver because Puka, just to name one specific injury, because guys like Puka going down, at least one person in your league is going to really, really, really need a wide receiver. This is the guy that he's probably targeting. So Allen Lazard.
Pick him up!
There you go. Flavor of the week. Said you had to. Yep. Did surprisingly good last night. And it's Rogers' guy. Yep. At the end of the day, it is. Jason, what up, bro? Said I got Dallas Goedert. Should I even think about grabbing Likely? Fuck yeah, you should. Do the claim on that. Said I have the top spot on my waiver wire, all the fab money. Really thinking about Jordan Mason should be the priority. I mean, if Jordan Mason's available in your league, sure. Jordan Mason didn't even make my waiver wire cut because he was rostered in more than 54% or more than 54%, more than 50% of redraft leagues. Let me see. What was he? Yeah, he's rostered in 59% of redraft leagues, so he didn't even make the cut on my waiver wire video. Thing is CMC is going to come back sooner or later. And like Jordan Mason, he's running in a good system. Dallas Goedert is not going to be that good. I mean, Likely, at least he showed that he has some crazy ass upside like right now. So I probably would go Likely over Jordan Mason. And man, it's crazy, dude. Like you weren't able to pick up Jordan Mason like yesterday. I guess it sucks. Some platforms, if your guys play, you can't pick up. So I guess I know that. Evan, what up, homie? Would you go with Najee or Pollard this week? Najee had a ton of volume. Pollard outplayed. Najee torn between the two. Let me see. Hold on. Go back to the schedule. Who do they play? Still early. I'm not even in start and sit mode yet. I'm covering waiver wires right now. Steelers versus the Broncos. I mean, not bad, but not amazing. Who do the Titans play? Titans play the Jets. Probably going Najee, man. Probably going Najee versus the Broncos. Like, the Jets are going to be so pissed. They're going to be so pissed, man. Yeah, that's where I'd go. And yes, sir. Thanks for coming through, Jason. Appreciate you, brother. All right, let's continue with these wide receivers here. Here we go. This year, week 1 of the season, like, we did not have an insane amount of injuries to wide receivers, and there wasn't really any wide receivers who like came through and like, not like last year's Puka. I mean, it's very blah this week for the first week 2 waivers, but Greg Dortch, I know that Marvin Harrison Jr. is going to be the guy, eventually, but they really like Greg Dortch over here. And he led the team in targets with 8 of them, brought down 6 receptions, 47 yards. I mean, he was the top receiver for Kyler. I mean, he really spread it around. And yeah, it is. You could do a lot worse, I guess, than someone who's going to be, let's see how many snaps he actually played, because that will make a little bit of a difference. And he played 61% of the snaps. That's kind of saying something, because Michael Wilson, I know he got the touchdown, but Greg Dortch got more targets and played less time. That's what's crazy, as their number 3. So is it going to be Marvin Harrison, for the long haul? Yeah. But for these next couple weeks, Greg Dortch could be in play. And they got the Rams this week. They got the Lions coming up in 2 weeks. And no matter what, Greg Dortch is going to be wide open a lot, because teams are going to be focusing on Marvin Harrison Jr. And that's just the way that it is. So if you're super desperate at wide receiver, Greg Dortch is only rostered in 6% of redraft leagues on Yahoo. And look here, 3%, when you're talking sleeper in all the dynasty leagues. So if you're desperate,
Pick him up.
here you go. Evan said, would you drop Wicks for Wan'Dale Robinson? I don't know. There's nobody better than Wan'Dale. Bob said, I got Jordan Mason on my bench. My team very RB heavy. What wide receiver should I target for a trade? Go target the CMC. Go target the CMC manager and tell me who they have, and I'll tell you who you should target. Because that's who you want to sell to. That person needs Jordan Mason more than anybody. Okay. Moving right along. My number 3 guy, I'm not too excited about this guy, because I do think it was just a flash in the pan. But Alec Pierce, I mean, he's their deep threat guy. He did get 3 targets, 3 receptions, had the big touchdown as well, 125 total yards, had the touchdown. But a lot of it's going to be fluky, man. I mean, look at Austin Doolin. I mean, I'm sure there's people are going to be like, Austin Doolin, pick him up. He's the league winner with 1 target, but it just happened to go for the touchdown. So at least we know with Alec Pierce, he's been around there for a little while. I mean, I don't know how, can only have so much rapport, with Richardson anyways, right? But the thing that Alec Pierce has going for him, he was on the field 84% of the snaps, and Michael Pittman Jr. on the field 89% of the snaps. So at least he's like, as far as being on the field, he's the number 2 guy over there. Could do a lot worse. They got the Packers in week 2. They got the Bears in week 3. So one of the things that I will say about the Packers, they got Jair Alexander, and he's going to be all over Michael Pittman Jr. So that could open some things up for Alec Pierce as well. And then you got the Bears in week 3. You got a really tough secondary. But either way, if you're desperate at wide receiver,
Pick him up.
because there's not a lot out there right now. There's really not. Evan said, you think season long, a guy like Luke McCaffrey could have some value if Jaden Daniels settles in? Yeah, but I mean, just random flex, and more of like a random bye week like type of flex guy, like nothing crazy. All right. I guess after these wide receivers, we're taking a quick breakfast break. Appreciate Vanessa always keeping me fed over here. Tell you when I'm holding my CMC stock whenever he comes back. Yeah, he's gonna ball out. He's on IR anyways, for sure. For sure. I got two more wide receivers to talk about here, both on the same team, and both are potential Puka replacements. Both of them had 7 targets. So the first guy, Tyler Johnson, a little bit more available than Demarcus Robinson. He's going to be the second guy to talk about. Tyler Johnson, only 1% rostered, and he had 7 targets, 5 receptions, 79 yards. Got the Cardinals in week 2, got the 49ers in week 3. If you have Puka, this is one of the guys that you should be trying to go and get because he got 7 targets like right away. So, I mean, they're going to be spreading the ball around no matter what. And maybe one week is Tyler Johnson, maybe one week is Demarcus Robinson. But I like Tyler Johnson. He was getting a little bit more. The average depth of target was a little bit bigger for him. So if I had to pick one of them, it'd probably be Tyler Johnson. But I know Demarcus Robinson is, I mean, he was the guy. You know, if they were ever missing one guy, he was the guy last year. Let me pull him up. And Robinson didn't have a great game, you know, but he did have the 7 targets. He had 4 receptions, 42 yards. So not too shabby. And really, it's all about trying to replace, you know, someone like Puka. So there you have it. There's all the wide receivers for this week's waiver wire pickup. And if you didn't see the running back video or the quarterback video, go check those out because they're popping up right now. Click one of the other videos. Click it. And there we go. All right. We got through QBs, running backs, wide receivers. We still got tight ends to go. We still got defense and special teams, and we still got IDP to go. But Vanessa just brought me some breakfast right now, so we're going to mac on this breakfast. And he said, I just know Demarcus Robinson is on the list with Puka out. For sure. I had 2 guys because of Puka being out. And what up, Bob? Said the CMC owner has Drake London, Devonta Smith, Tank Dell, Raheed Shaheed, Lad McConkey. Who should I offer Jordan Mason for? Start with Drake London because he had a really bad game. Maybe the guy's emotional, you know, like you always want to take advantage of people emotionally if you can via trade. So that's who I would, that's who I might. Well, okay. See, here's what you have. Okay. Here's what you have to do. You got to do a little okey doke, you know, on them. So what you want to do is first offer Jordan Mason for Devonta Smith because that's who had like the best game out of his top wide receivers. And then he's going to say no. And then you're going to come back and you're going to do for Drake London. Maybe he'll say yes. Maybe he'll say no. But that's kind of the way you got to do it. Got to do a little bit of okey doke, you know, on them. Got to make them think that you want the best person, you know, and then you're settling for the second best guy. Because he's going to need Mason. And you got to do it now before we get news about CMC. Whoa. What do you mean looks like CMC's out? Did they already say something about him not playing? Let's see. I don't see anything. Zeb said, what's for breakfast, bro? Got some eggs, got some bacon, and some pancakes here. Russ said you like these wide receivers over a guy like Shaheed. Well, so Shaheed didn't make my list because he's over 50% rostered. Because I don't know a guy like Shaheed. You know, I mean, what's he rostering, like 70% of the leagues or something? Never know if he's actually available. But, yeah, I kind of like Shaheed over these guys, except Lazard. Especially this next game specifically. Bacon and sausage. Not just bacon. Appreciate you, Vanessa. Oh, shit. Zeb going to Lincoln Park tomorrow. Nice. Said Green Day and Smashing Pumpkins on Saturday. Man, Zeb, you're always going to some cool-ass concerts in L.A. And Raven Show, yo. Devontae Adams and A-Chain for Diggs and Monty. Full PPR. Who wins? Neither. Because you're trading similar value, two similar value players for two similar value players. So no, don't even do the trade like this. It's too even. It is too even. Too even. And would you move Shaheed and Dowdle for T. Higgins? Probably. I mean, it sucks though. He's dealing with an injury already. Or Shaheed and Gus Edwards for Higgins. Probably Shaheed and Gus Edwards. Like, let me see. What was Rico's snap percentage? And Big Bando said, no ketchup on the eggs, bro. You're slacking. Man, I know. You're right. You're right. Because I usually do eat ketchup on eggs. It's going to be a shit show for Dallas over there. 44% for 44% for Rico. 51% for Zeke. Domo. What up, Domo? Second offer, Marvin Harrison Jr. for Smitty. Who's Schmitty? I forget. So I feel like he's a buy low. Who is Schmitty? Oh, Devonta Smith, right? Devonta Smith. You're holding Devonta Smith, bro. So just read on Sleeper, they wanted to give more rest before the next game to see how true it is. Okay. Yeah, I forget you called Devonta Smith Schmitty. But I remembered though. But now, keeping Devonta Smith. His work's been secure for the last 3 years. If you're talking about Dynasty, I would do that, but I'm assuming you're talking about redraft. Oh, you got offered that last week? Did you do it? You guys feel like Zamir White's going to be trash. But in 10-team league, hard to work the waivers. Yeah, when every team's stacked. Yeah, for sure. For sure. But at least in a 10-teamer, you might have some better waiver wires than the 12-teamers. Yeah, Zeb, I did see the body cam video. See? What's everybody else think now? There's some people who are like, oh, he was probably resisting or whatever. Didn't look like he was resisting to me. Looked like the cops were acting like assholes. So I hope Tyreek does sue their ass. And those guys were put on leave or whatever, on administrative leave. Lucky them. Lucky them. What do? They're burnt. They're stupid. All this for a speeding ticket? Bullshit. Zoo Crew said Olave or Flowers. Who plays who? The Ravens play the Raiders. Good matchup. Saints play the Cowboys. Man, not the best matchup. I'm going to say Flowers going up against the Raiders than Olave going up against Trey Diggs and the Cowboys. Because Trey Diggs will be covering him the whole time. Zeb said 224 to 223 thanks to Jordan Mason. Nice. Very nice.
Nice.
$14-man redraft is thin, but some good stashes. But who to drop from is hard on the dart, though, for sure. For sure. All right. Gotta go thank Vanessa for his breakfast. And got a little bit more to cover. Got tight ends still. And we got defense and special teams. And then we got IDP. I think we can knock that out in 45 minutes. All right. Let me go show some love to Vanessa right now. Go refill the water. And football's back, baby. Every day is a good day. I said this earlier. Didn't know I had the loop track on. Yeah, I mean, just get ready, guys. Whatever tight end is going up against the Panthers, like they're a potential streaming option for you every single week. And so I guess I didn't say it this week. Well, actually, I guess I can. I'll add it in right now. It's not gonna be good, most weeks, but I bet it will be. I bet you it'll hit more often than it doesn't. Let's see. So let's see who got more snaps from Will Disley and Hayden Hurst got more snaps. Yeah, Hayden Hurst is gonna be the guy. Pretty sure he got more targets and stuff too. Let's go check it real quick. Let's see. Yeah, Hayden Hurst got 3 targets. Still ugly, but in a good matchup. That's really what it comes down to. Shut up, Crispy. I did. Oh, hold on. Because I got something for it, and it was on something that you read. Yeah, so it was a delivery, and it was Sherry's Berries. Vanessa loves them, so that was my apology present. Sherry's Berries, and she loves those chocolate covered strawberries. Toyota ones. I got the Chargers defense going up against the Panthers. Fucking hate team defense now. Yep. And Chargers, they're my flavor of the week for defense and special teams. So we're going to cover tight end first, and then we'll get into that one. But, let's do what we came here to do. Make sure we get nice and high.
Roll a fatty for this pimp daddy. So put that in your pipe and smoke it.
Let me hit that ball.
You got perfect time. About to start a little puff giving this motherfucker.
Yes. The life is good, Crispy. If we're doing good, got to make sure. Yeah, we did the right thing. Did the right thing. Got her hooked up with something extra fancy, not just some fucking Walmart, chocolate covered strawberries. We got the best of the best. The best of the best. And so I went and picked up likely on the open waiver wire. Nice. I won my home league, the San Diego Green Bowl, the one's taking another year hiatus because no live draft. That one, whew, man, for the longest time we had it like that where it's just gangster. Anytime you want to pick someone up, you can. And it said streaming tight end, defense and kickers every week. He said fuck the kickers. Says sucks on waivers, like 6 to choose from. Yeah. And really, like, if you could just pick someone who's either playing in a dome or if it's like playing in, Monday night, Sunday night, and like you kind of don't need them, like that's always like a good feeling. That's the one over me. Marvin Harrison Jr. for DeMontis. You're the second person who literally had that exact same trade offer. Don't do it. Don't do it. Nope. I'm not doing it. Keep Devonta Smith, man. Such good value. You know why people are trying to trade Marvin Harrison Jr. right now? Because now they realize that spending that second or third round was way too expensive. Way too expensive. And they're trying to cut their losses right now. Don't do it. What up, Cole? He said Njoku or Kincaid rest of season. Well, Njoku's missing did they say he's going on the IR? I don't know if they said he's going on the IR, but they said he has a high ankle sprain. So he's missing weeks no matter what. So because of that, that's an easy one. I'm just taking Kincaid. Prime time. Just traded Reed and Ford for Flowers and Pollard. He said full PPR thoughts. I like it and I don't. I like it because Reed probably going to suck over the next couple weeks because they got Malik Willis. Ford, he's probably going to be good the next couple weeks, but I'm still of the mindset that the chubby one's coming back sometime. And he's going to take over that role again. And Ford will still be there, but he'll be, the 1B. Flowers, they showed they're going to use him a lot. Might not be super efficient, but they showed they're going to use him a lot. And Pollard, he's the guy. He's the guy over there. It's not Spears. It is not Spears. So that's why I like the trade, because of the guys you got. And so maybe I like it more than I said initially. Jake said this guy in my league wants Flowers. You think Puka would be a fair trade? I don't really want to trade for Puka right now. Like, literally, like if I had Puka, this is the time you trade him. Because then you get a player that you can play right now. You don't have that dead spot on your roster at all. I don't want to trade for a dead spot on my roster for a couple weeks. Like, Flowers needs to be a luxury for you. If Flowers is a bench player, go ahead and do it. Like, Puka will probably have more value long-term than Flowers will. But Flowers is the guy over there. They showed that. If they're going to go up-tempo, which maybe they didn't go up-tempo like a crazy amount like throughout the year, but they showed if they're ever going up-tempo that Flowers is going to be like the number one weapon like on the team. So I don't know if I just want to give him up like that. And Russell said knee injuries are tricky. Could have a setback for no reason. No reason to trade for Puka. Yeah, for sure. Especially not now. Like, not like literally the week after it happens. Unless you're getting him for nothing. And Flowers isn't nothing. That's what this comes down to for me. Like, if you could get him Puka for like nothing, do it. But yeah, Flowers is not nothing. Yeah, see right there. Primetime, 10 targets for Flowers, 2 rush attempts. I mean, if he's going to be somewhere close to 10 targets a game throughout this entire season, like, Flowers is a really good value that we got. That's what it comes down to. All right, here we go. Oh, let me mark down where we are. Okay, 2, 25, 30. All right, here we go. Let's get in to the tight end waiver wire. And let's start it off. On Thursday, this dude, Isaiah Likely, was the flavor of the week for all leagues. Everybody super excited. I mean, he's only 29% rostered. You see here on Sleeper, 14% rostered, 29 on Yahoo and the other redrafts. Definitely the flavor of the week as far as tight ends go. And most people are streaming tight ends. So for everyone out there who's streaming tight ends, they are going to be going crazy to try to get Isaiah Likely. So burn your fab. Use 40% of it. Use 50% of it. Like, if you need a tight end very badly, you spend it because a guy like Isaiah Likely probably not going to come up that often in the tight end world. 12 targets, 9 receptions, 111 yards, had the big touchdown as well. And they got the Raiders this week, so that's going to be nice for him. And then they got the Cowboys in week 3. I mean, Cowboys, they're kind of whatever, for the past couple years about defending the tight end. So Isaiah Likely, he was the flavor of the week. He was the first flavor of the week for the NFL season, and it happened on Thursday because he was the very first game. And now it's kind of cooled off a little bit. Now guys like J.K. Dobbins, Alan Lazard, like now we got some other flavors of the week at other positions. But Isaiah Likely, everyone's going to be going hard for him because most people have shitty tight ends, and so many tight ends flopped this week. That's like more of a reason why people are going to be going after Isaiah Likely. So if you need a tight end, you're probably not going to be able to get him, but you might as well put in a claim.
Pick him up.
There we go. Pick him up. And Noble in the house. Noble, crazy. And hey, come here. Hey, just say hi to everyone because we're doing we're doing our. I can't remember. We didn't. We got what's it called? I'm doing a bunch of waiver wires today, so it's gonna be it's a big show. So say what up to everyone. Then we're gonna try to finish these waiver wires. Say what up to what? You want to hit the soundboard right.
big show.
All right, go ahead. Hit the soundboard.
Okay.
2 drops. 2 drops for Noble. Just two. Just two.
I thought you had big show.
I don't have Big Show.
Since
It's somewhere. I don't know. You got to figure that out. I'm not sure. Right, Big Band doesn't imagine Pitts being tight end 1 week. I mean,
okay, wait, that's
go over. Bob said, if I was going to trade Puka a wide receiver, should I target for him? You have to see who wants Puka. You have to find someone who actually wants him first.
My first.
Second one. You could do one more that I like because I know you're going to do it. Go ahead. This is the last one. This is on the way out. Only one. No, just do the one that you know. It's gotta be. There we go. Too cool. Gotta love them. So, oh shit, I almost missed Likely in the Vampire Buffy. Let's fucking go. There we go. There we go, Crispy. Don't be slacking. Don't be slacking over there, bro. If you leave as the vampire, if you leave someone out there who's actually like one of the better pickup waiver wires, you're probably not going to win. So good shit, Crispy. Glad you're here. Glad you're here. All right. Moseying along here on the tight ends because really it is all about Likely as far as the tight ends go. But if you're a little bit desperate, Colby Parkinson, they need a little replacement for Puka. He did have 5 targets, 4 receptions, 47 yards. I mean, nothing great, but the targets should be there. They throw the ball a lot. I mean, even when they're running the ball, they're doing it through the air a lot of times as well. So, yeah, Colby Parkinson, if you are desperate, if you're streaming tight ends, whatever, he's someone you got to be targeting because only one person is going to get Isaiah Likely, and it might not be you. So make sure you throw in multiple claims. And Colby Parkinson,
Pick him up.
let's go. And Big Bando, so what's your ethnicity, bro? So I am Mexican and Italian, but Noble's mom, she's a little bit of everything. She's a huge mix. She's Mexican, black. I think most of it is that, but there's a lot in there. I know she's got a few more things involved than me, but that's where Noble's cool hair comes from his mom's side. And let me see. And what up, Jamie? He said, what do you think about Amon Ra? I mean, I'd be trying to trade for him. Like anyone who's panicking on him, I'd be trying to trade for him because it's not going to be the norm what happened. And what up, Jamie? And shout out to Pizza of Venice. I've been slacking on posting my Pizza of Venice video, but don't worry, bro. We're going to get it going. I got all the shit saved, and I needed to get to the start of the regular season, and I'm going to find time to edit that video because it was a shit. And Big Bando said, no shit, that's what's up. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. I know a lot of people think I'm white because I stay inside a lot, but no, I'm Mexican and Italian. I mean, and I don't know, back in the day, it was like the Italians, they weren't even thought of as white. Now it kind of is. And and Poker Gut said, dang, I'm coming over for those lasagna tacos. There we go. All right. Jay said, all good from the doctor. Glad to hear it, bro. Glad to hear it. He said, no, I actually had a hunch you were some type of Hispanic for a reason. Well, I guess it's only white people who think I might be white. I don't know. I guess it just depends. Who knows what people think? I don't know. Who knows? But in high school, I would, to the white people, I was Mexican, and to the Mexican people, I was white. That's how it goes when you're a little bit of mix. Oh, hey, and he said, rep in Puerto Rico here. There we go. And would you pick up Alec Pierce? So he was on my when we were covering wide receivers. He's my number 3 pickup for the week. So it's with that last spot that you have on your roster, is he worth a pickup? He totally could be, but I wouldn't really be excited to play him. He still only got 3 targets, and he's going to be like their big play, like home run, like type guy. And right, Big Bando said, stuck in between. Yep, you ain't lying. A story of my life, bro. I'm just like Miklo, man. Story of my life. Poker Gut said, Bucky Irving gonna take more of the workload from White as the season goes on. Might overtake number 1. Nah, he's not. He played 31% of the snaps. I did talk about him during the running back section. Like if you refresh, I have timestamps in there where you could just jump to the running backs, and I give my thoughts on them. I think that Bucky is going to gain his own independent flex value, but Rachaad White gets so much work in the passing game that I don't think he's going to overtake Rachaad White. Like, could he have more? I mean, he had more, rushing yards and rushing attempts, but it still wasn't a lot. And shout out to Jay throwing in the super chat. You the man, bro. You the man. Always appreciated. And Poker Gut said, Bull said he's going to be going more with the hot hand. Well, see, that's the thing. Rachaad White was hot when it came to the he was real hot when it came to the pass game. But I mean, Bucky Irving still only got 9 rushes. So, I mean, if he went out there and got 15 or 20, like that's something, but it was only 9 that he got. They didn't run the ball a lot, just in general. And do you go hard or soft for the tacos? Oh, do we go hard or soft for Lazard? It depends on how bad you need a wide receiver. I like his matchup this week. If you're going to pick him up and play him, you go extra hard, man. You go extra hard because I already said this week is going to be a good matchup, like, for him. All right, let's continue. Now, tight ends is so ugly that I'm mentioning Hayden Hurst Helmsley right now because sometimes you got to play the game.
Behold the king. Time to play the game. Time to play the game.
And Hayden Hurst Helmsley isn't even that cool. The only reason that I'm even talking about him right now, because his game last week was super blah, but he did get 3 targets. It's because he's going up against the Panthers. The Panthers are literally going to be a team that you can stream your tight end against week after week after week. So that's the only reason why I'm talking about Hayden Hurst Helmsley. And when it comes to the tight ends, you got to play the game that it's the way it's supposed to be played.
Time to play the game. Time to play the game.
And there you have it. There's my thoughts on Hayden Hurst and the shitty tight end position. All right. And he said, nothing hits like the OG time to play the game joint. Hell yeah, man. Classic. He said, where's my water bottle at? Aaron Rodgers was the guy that brought Lazard. He's the dude. Yeah, well, yes and no. He's going to be the dude when there is a number 1 cornerback who can actually hold down Garrett Wilson a little bit. Like, that's when he'll be the dude. That's about it. And Jabriel said keep one. Wilson, Mixon, Rashad White. What do you mean keep one? Why are you keeping one? Just give me the insight on why are we keeping one? Like what? Give me the context on why about that. And here goes last one. My last tight end spot. I am not excited to talk about Jordan Akins, but Njoku has a high ankle sprain. He's going to be gone for a couple weeks. He's going to be the next man up, you know? So if you are ultra desperate,
Pick him up.
he did get 4 targets. He got 3 receptions, 27 yards. It's all bad over there for the Browns. And you know they're going to be targeting the tight ends a little bit. So, yeah, I mean, if you're just super, super desperate, dart throw desperate at tight end, Jordan Akins would be the guy. If it's your first time here, hit that subscribe button. Go check out the waiver wire videos for wide receivers, running backs, QBs. We got IDP in there. We got defense and special teams. Go check out all the waiver wire videos. They're popping up right now. Click it, click it, click it, click it. There we go. Tight ends. Done. There we go. And Jay said, for the Who Dat Nation, you the man, you the man. Juggernaut said, how do you feel about Mike Evans? I feel worse about him than I did yesterday, and I didn't like him yesterday. I even thought the prop bet for him at 9.5 yards receiving was too much for him. So I don't like him at all, and now I like him even worse. 281, can't wait for tomorrow's waiver claims. Got some cleaning up to do. Lucy, got some explaining to do. He said, fuck anyone alive. One Mary, one Wilson. He said, fuck everyone alive. One Mary. What? Say it again, Poker Guts. I'm too high to be reading that right now. Should I use a waiver claim on Parkinson if I only yes. Especially now. And Demetrios, what up? He said, need more depth at the RB position. Need a solid RB3. I got Monty, Pacheco, Edwards, McLaughlin, Jalen Warren. Not willing to trade. I'm not willing to trade away Monty or Pacheco. Who should I target? Okay, well, here's the thing. I never answer this. Who should I target? Who should I go after? Because every league is different. You need to find a trade partner. That's what you need to be on the lookout for. A trade partner. Okay. You want the trade partner to need something that you have. So who are you even trying to like trade away, to get this running back? Are you extra stacked at wide receiver, or you think that someone's just going to trade like a random running back for a running back, like straight up? But yeah, you want to find a trade partner is what you want to find. It makes the trade process way easier because there's like hundreds of people, hundreds of play. Well, I know you said RB, so there's dozens and dozens of RB that you might be able to target, but is it realistic that you'd be able to get any of them? Who the hell knows? It depends on the manager and the manager's team. Oh, yeah. The fuck, Mary kill. We excited about Bowers for the rest of the season. We said a week 1 fluky with the target share. Well, we can't say anything's fluky right now because we only have one game to go off of. And they went up against the Chargers, Chargers are notoriously bad just at defending the tight end, just in general. So I really feel like we got to see. All of September is going to tell us what we need to know about these rookies. At least it's going to set the foundation of the way that we think about them. We know that they're going to get used, yada, 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 all that type of shit. So Bowers, very promising after week 1. How about that? Because of the amount of targets that he got. And I said, because I don't know. You only talking one. Okay. Just Dre said, how you feeling about Adonai Mitchell after week 1? Don't like it. He already, Adonai Mitchell did not want to play on the Colts. As soon as he got drafted, he was disappointed. And I don't know. That disappointment didn't come from nowhere. And every time that Anthony Richardson throws it to him and overthrows him, he's like, man, fucking hate the Colts. That's why I never wanted to come here in the first place. That was his reaction when he got drafted, is that he was disappointed. And that's me saying it the nice way, because it looked like he was salty as fuck when he actually got drafted. So yeah, because of that, I've just remembered that like the entire time. It's like that was his first instinctual, reaction to going and playing on the Colts, knowing it's not going to be good. Demetrios trying to get James Cook and trade away Gus Edwards. I'm not sure if that would. No, it's why. There's no way in hell that would be enough for someone. Like, unless you find someone when they're just like drunk, or something like that. But no, that would not be enough. And it's going to be hard. You trading a shitty running back or someone who did shitty in week 1 for someone who even did decent in week 2. Like, no matter what, you're going to pay more, or the trade's just not going to happen. So it's like, do you have any good wide receiver depth that you might be able to like trade away to like upgrade a running back? Because the way that you can improve your team the most is by making calculated trades. And a running back for a running back is not a calculated trade. Unless you are just outright winning the trade. That's usually not the case in redraft. Corey said, who do I prioritize as my top waiver? Why are likelier Dobbins, RBs are Henry, Stevenson, Dowdle, tight ends Ferguson. I would say Dobbins, and I would put in waiver wire claims with, if you have 2 players that you can drop, I would put in a waiver wire claim for Dobbins and use player A. And then I would put in a waiver claim for Likely, and I would use player B. And then I would make my third waiver wire claim Parkinson, and I would put a waiver wire claim with player A, and then I would do one more waiver wire claim for Parkinson with player B. So then if you don't get one of those guys, or if you don't get both of them, you still have the opportunity to get Parkinson. Demetrios said, I have Chris Godwin. Who else you got besides that, though? Like, who are your other wide receivers? He said, man, Monra sold the fuck out of me. If he had played better, I would have won. Ugh, man, it sucks. Corey said Polk, Dowdle, and Palmer. I'd use Polk and Palmer, but I would make like Palmer, like I would make him player A for J.K. Dobbins, because you're probably not going to get J.K. Dobbins. He's going to be the number 1 like for everybody. So like if you get him, it'll be lucky. It's more likely that you will get Likely or Parkinson, and so I would use Polk as player B for those ones. That's how I'd do it. And I'm going to answer questions right now. We've already done quarterbacks, running backs, wide receiver, and tight end. If you guys care about seeing those, refresh, and there should be timestamps in there that you can click on and go back. Brad said, would you be confident starting Ford as your RB2 after putting up 18 against Dallas? My others are Zamir White, Dobbins, Chase Brown. Yeah, I would be confident for right now, until Chubb gets back. Like, they're going to lean on the run a lot. They showed that. And it's really only Ford, So, I mean, that's the best thing about it. And they're going to lean on the run a shitload. So, yeah, I would be confident as of right now, because everything with the running backs is a week-to-week battle anyways. So I'd be confident until Chubb starts getting close to coming back. And I'd be fine rocking them as my RB2 in almost any game, because they still have a good line and they're going to run the ball like that. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. So super confident in Ford as an RB2. And Andre Silva said, would you trade Burrow and Mason for which QB upgrade? Lamar Jackson, Hurts, Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, the Stallion.
Wild Stallions!
And but yeah, I mean, I'm only going for the best. If you're trading away Burrow, you better be going for the, you know, the top tier and the elite tier guys. Demetrio said, why receivers? Well, because you probably need to, like, you need to trade. Your running backs aren't that good. So it's like, I'm trying to help you with a realistic, like, type of trade, because no one's going to trade you a better running back for a shittier running back. Like, why would they do that? Just a 1-for-1 trade. So you got to, I'm looking at who you have running backs and wide receivers, because those should be the positions that you have the most of and potentially have some trade bait at. And he said, I got DK, Tyreek, and Rice. See, I mean, shit, you want a better running back? Trade Rice for a running back straight up. Trade Godwin for a running back straight up. Because you got some decent wide receiver depth. Bang and Play on Twitch. What up, homie? He said, I got a trade request for Mike Evans for Raheem Mostert, Mark Andrews, Devonta Smith, and Christian Kirk. Should I do it? My team's pretty stacked. If your team's pretty so you would be giving up all the other players. I mean, I don't like that. I mean, if you're getting all those players, I mean, I kind of almost like it, but I don't know. I just wouldn't do this trade, because, like, I don't want Mostert. I don't want Andrews. So if you're trading away Mike Evans and you're getting those two players back, I mean, it's kind of like, you know, just why? Devonta Smith, I mean, I like it. And Devonta Smith plus Christian Kirk, I mean, that's almost better than Mike Evans. But it's like, I would almost make it to where, yeah, like if you're getting the package, I'd want someone different than Mostert and Andrews. And if I'm giving up the package, man, I don't want to give away Devonta Smith. Like, I want to throw someone else in there besides him. So tell me which side you were on. I mean, I have no idea what side you're on, so I kind of gave answers based on both sides. Char said, should I be worried about the A-chain injury? Man, it's just something we got to monitor. It's something we got to monitor. Brad's also have Chubb with Ford, so the hope is Chubb can come back healthy. Yeah, I mean, they probably don't have they're probably not much reason to rush him back. We'll see, though. What up, Zach? He said just got offered Zay Flowers and J.K. Dobbins for Ken Walker, PPR. So right now I have ETN, Walker, Moss, Gus, Eckler. His wide receivers are J.J. Olave, Pickens, and Bums on my bench. I mean, it's tough because, like J.K. Dobbins now, like, kind of moves into your number 2 spot, and I'd be a little bit nervous about that. The only thing that has me, like, considering it is, you know, Ken Walker being a little bit hurt. That's really the only, but, man. I like to pick up the flavors of the week to trade them. I don't really like trading for the flavors of the week. Demetrio said Godwin for James Cook or Josh Jacobs. Probably Josh Jacobs. Both very similar in my eyes, like value-wise. All right. Let's get over here. Let's get over here to the defense and the special teams. Here we go. Okay. Almost forgot. Got to make my little note here on Brad said, should I try to trade Goddard and J-Mo for Kincaid? No. You're on the right path, and just aim for a better tight end. Like, do that, but do it for like Kelsey or Laporta, You know, like do it for someone like that because those people might be panicking like right now on spending a high pick and then J-Mo looking all shiny. You know, do something like that. Okay, here we go. And maybe I got a little confused with that explanation, but Polk is more droppable than Palmer. Yes, yes. And I said the reason I said put Palmer in the J.K. Dobbins waiver wire, like make him player A, because if you get J.K. Dobbins, it's worth dropping him for him, but you're probably not going to get J.K. Dobbins. So that's what it is. Unless you're like the number one waiver wire. If you're the number one waiver wire, tell me, because then that'll change my answer. But if you're not the number one waiver wire, I'm saying put J.K. Dobbins in, like use Palmer on the J.K. Dobbins, because you're probably not going to get Palmer. Very, very highly unlikely unless you have the number one or number two, you know, waiver wire. So that's what I mean. So if you get, you're more likely to get Likely or Parkinson, and then you would be using Polk for those guys, and then you'd be fine getting them and losing Polk. So hopefully that makes a little bit more sense. Okay, I said perfect. We're good. There we go. And now Brad said, what about Andrews? No, it's too risky. Too risky. I said, I am number two. Okay, well, that's cool because you're either going to get J.K. Dobbins or Likely. Maybe go look at the team that has number one and look and see, do they really need a tight end? Because they're probably just going J.K. Dobbins. Do they need, just really look at that. Do they need a tight end or not? If not, J.K. Dobbins is going to be like the number one pickup for everybody this week. I'd say for most people, he's going to be the number one pickup. And Andre said, should I trade Christian Kirk and Mason for Drake London? Probably. I mean, I don't know. I guess I get a little bit nervous because Kirk, I mean, he didn't have a good game, but I feel like he's going to bounce back. JT Gibbs, Dobbins, Javonte, Benson, wide receivers, Cup, DK, Pickens, Kirk. Yeah, I'd do that. Kirk's like your number three, like right now. And London, you know, assuming that Kirk gets his shit together, we assume he'll do better, right? Okay. Here we go. And actually, hold on. Let me change this now. I started talking. Let me update the timestamp over here. Welcome, Andre. And if anybody feels so inclined, you know, if I'm really helping you out, hit that $sign at the bottom of the YouTube chat and throw a little tip. Throw a little tip for your boy, because I'm here grinding for you guys. Almost been here 3 hours. And here we go. Welcome to the most popular waiver wire video of the week. It's the defense and the special teams. And we know you savages who still play in leagues like this need to pick up streaming teams every single week. And I got 5 streamers here for you. All of them are 53% rostered or less. And number one, and it's because of the matchup, baby, because this defense, I mean, it's decent. They gave up less than 300 total yards, only gave up 10 points, had 4 sacks, had a forced fumble, 2 fumble recoveries, and a big old INT. And in redraft leagues, are only rostered in about 14% of leagues, so readily available. It is the Los Angeles Chargers, and they are going up against the Carolina Panthers. And man, the Carolina Panthers made the Saints look like the 85 Bears last week. So even if the Chargers can produce even a little bit of that, it'll be a good week for the Chargers. So they are my number one pickup this week for the waiver wire, off the waiver wire for defense and special teams. Chargers said the problem isn't Cousins, the damn O-line. Yeah, Cousins didn't have any time, right? It was really bad. My number 2 pickup of the week. They are rostered in 53% of leagues as far as redraft goes, but they're going to get dropped. I bet you a lot of teams are going to drop this because they didn't do that good last week. They only had 4 points. So, I mean, it's not like they were in the negatives or anything. But Anthony Richardson hit him with a couple big touchdowns this week going up against the Bears and Caleb Williams. And they are at home. So that is some things that I like. And even last week, I mean, they gave up 27 points, but they got 2 sacks, got a big interception. It can easily get Caleb with a couple sacks. Interceptions could always be a thing for this group. And yeah, this is going to be my number 2 pickup, 53%. I like to keep it under 50, but there wasn't another team under 50% that was worth even picking up. So Chargers number 1, Texans number 2. And Rush Lord, you the man, bro. Appreciate you. Said just show a little gratitude for your show. Much appreciated. And every time someone does do a super chat, you get entries into our raffle. And I'm not sure exactly when it's going to be, but it's going to be towards the end of September. And I know this is going to be the grand raffle prize. Is going to be this Dr. Dabber, this beast right here. So if you guys are into dabbing or want to get into dabbing, now you will have a super cool dab utensil to use. And you the man, Rush Lord. So I'm getting you marked down for 10 entries. And I know we're going to have a few other things involved as well. Might have like a jersey or two because it's been a few months since we've done a raffle. So we're going to get into that as well. Rush Lord, you the man, bro. Thanks for showing the channel some love. And Apollo, should I offer Neighbors and Moss for Cup? Or is that too much of a low ball? It's probably too much of a low ball because of Puka, but try it. See what happens. Start there. Maybe add in a third person, if you have to. And Bob, should I be prioritizing Likely or Lazard? I have Kincaid and having a backup tight end, Puka being on the IR. I mean, you're going to have to do both, but I think that you need to prioritize Lazard more because you need the wide receiver more. So that's where I'd go. That's where I would go. And Ketty, will you be talking IDP waivers? Yes. I'm going to knock out the rest of this defense and special teams, and then we're jumping over to IDP. I always do IDP last because it's a little bit longer. Makes it easier for me to edit, though, because I get it like all there in the end. Right. And Corey, should I drop Goff for Stafford, Rodgers, Cousins, or Mayfield single QB league? Is that the one with only 3 bench spots? If it is, I would drop him for let me see who plays who this week. Jets play the Titans, tough matchup. Who's Stafford plays? Stafford plays the Cardinals, not too shabby of a matchup. Baker plays the Lions. That might be the one. Oh, it is that. Well, who else is on your? Don't just drop Goff then all willy-nilly. Who else you got over there that you could drop? But Mayfield would be the one. Out of all those, Mayfield's the one that I want for week 2. And tough matchup for Goff against the Lions, but at least he's at home. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's not a waiver wire Tuesday if we ain't talking about some IDPs. And that's the first one that I always actually, the defense and special teams is the first one that I upload to YouTube because that's always the most popular one. And then IDP I always upload second. Okay, here we go. Let's knock out this defense and special teams here. My number 3 team to pick up this week. They didn't do too good last week, but you know who they're going up against this week. So I'm talking about the Indianapolis Colts, and they are going up against the Green Bay Packers with no Jordan Love. They got Malik Willis over there, and Malik Willis, he's a bum. We're going to back it up for him. He is not good. And the Colts, they're decent enough to where I want to go pick them up and play them against Malik Willis.
Pick them up!
They got 4 sacks last week. They gave up 29 points, so not the best, but they can get after the quarterback, and they do have decent cornerbacks and safeties over there. And now going up against Malik Willis, who's an inaccurate thrower. Going to be a way better matchup than what it was last week. They're only 8% rostered, so they are readily available. Toyota One, you the man. He said, thanks for the intel. Much appreciated, homie. Get you marked down. Get you marked down for these entries, my brother. And yeah, on Tuesdays, nothing but intel, man. Nothing but good intel coming. And always better to be here live because it's still going to take me time to go edit these and all these shit. I mean, I know you guys are here live, but for anyone who may catch this on a replay or something, always best to come in live because you can ask your questions and stuff. And I'm doing it in between the little segments of what I'm talking about. So yeah, it's a good experience all around. Keenan or Brian Thomas at the flex. Brian Thomas, man. Apollo, did you literally just come in after I said the Chargers are my #1 waiver wire pickup for the week for DST? I like them, man, because they're going up against the Panthers, dude. Amazing matchup. Hey, Chelsea made it to YouTube. What up? So would you drop the Bears for the Chargers? I would. Yes, I would. And you're good. I'm just messing around. But yeah, Chargers, they're my number one. They're my #1 waiver wire defense to pick up, and it is because of the matchup against the Panthers. They are still decent. You know, I don't want to play a shitty defense in a bad matchup, but I will play, you know, a semi-good, you know, team. I mean, that's all I'd say. Like, that's the most that I'll say about their semi-good, you know, against a really, really great matchup. Yeah. So thank you. My phone died. All right. Well, if you can, like, just watch on YouTube. I prefer that you watch on YouTube. Facebook, you know, it's all right. And if you're going to watch there, that's cool. It's up to you. But YouTube's where it's at. Like, more people are here. There'll be more people in the chat. And just, you know, it's more lit. Just drop Fant for Parkinson's in the Buffy. That's good. Take away the good tight ends that are out there. I mean, I guess they don't need a tight end because there's no tight end spot, but still. Garrett said, which side of the trade would you prefer? A-Chain plus London or CD and Bucky Irving? I guess I wouldn't make this trade. I don't want to trade a running back and a wide receiver for a running back and a wide receiver. But I think I would rather have the man. See, like again, Crispy says CD all day, but it's like Bucky Irving is so bad that, like, as long as Drake London isn't trash the entire time, I mean, the A-Chain and London side's way better. Because Bucky Irving, I don't think is ever going to be a thing. Like, maybe a little bit of independent flex value, like when we have like a big waiver wire weeks, but that's about it. We're moseying along in this defensive video. Waiver wire, hit the subscribe button if you haven't yet. And we're jumping over to the Seattle Seahawks, who did pretty decent last week in a good matchup. And this week, they got the Patriots. Patriots aren't doing a whole lot on offense, that's for sure. And Seahawks, they only gave up 16 points last week, 2 sacks, 2 big INTs, 2 forced fumbles, a fumble recovery. I mean, they only gave up 231 like total yards. So you could do a lot worse than the Seahawks, and they're pretty decent at all 3 levels of the game. And you got the Patriots. If they throw it around, like I know they're giving it to Ramondre a lot, but if they're throwing it around like at all, Seattle has a good enough secondary to where they might be able to get another 2 interception game. All right. Last defense. Now, this is more of a dart throw than anything, but the Jaguars, they're only 4% rostered. A lot more available than the Seahawks, who are 43% rostered, who I just talked about before. But they are going up against the Cleveland Browns, and the Jags are at home. I mean, week 1, they went up against the Dolphins. They only gave 20 points up. They did get 3 sacks on Tua. I really feel like if you are dart throwing and you can't get one of the first 4 defense and special teams that I mentioned, I think the Jaguars can get you double-digit points going up against the Browns. I know that things got a little shaky. I know they had a couple guys, get hurt, but there's a lot worse teams that you can, a lot worse matchups that you have this week than the Jags going up against the Browns. So again, dart throw, but they're there. If you're in a deeper league, this might be the dart throw that you need to get you over the hump. And if it's your first time here, make sure you subscribe. I bring you waiver wires every single week. And I know this one's the most popular out of all of them because most people are streaming defense and special teams, as it should be. But if you didn't see the QB video, the running back, wide receiver, tight end, and if you're into IDP, I got that as well. Go check it. It's all on the channel, and you should be having some videos pop up right now. Click it, click it, click it, click it, click it, click it, click it. There we go. There we go. I left him healing Ertz. There you go, Crispy. Way to be kind. Way to be kind, Crispy. Be kind. Please rewind. Okay. And I know this is what all you guys have been waiting for. Getting to the defense and the special teams. Let's go. And Garrett, I'm 100% set at RB. I have ETN, A-Chain, Connor, Monty, Hill, and Cup, and London. I feel like it's a decent trade to send out and both improve my team and my opponents. Yeah, see, I don't agree. I don't agree with that. Like, if you're set at running back, then why would you bring back a shitty running? I mean, you know, Bucky Irving could turn into something, but I'm just saying, like, why would you bring back like a barely waiver wire ad, maybe, you know, type of player instead of getting some kind of better player? That's all I'm saying, man. Like, Bucky Irving is so far off the spectrum of like anybody who you might ever start that, like, why would you trade for him? Why would you trade for him? And like, yeah, I understand it's to get CD. And if you're just getting Bucky Irving to get, if you're just getting Bucky Irving, you know, because it has to be a 2-for-2 trade, there's nobody better that you could get. And Garrett said 49ers over any waiver wire picks. Who's the 49ers play this week? Probably, though. I mean, there's rostered in a bunch of leagues, so they're not even available. You know, I try to do 50% or less. Yeah, versus the Vikings, yeah. I'd do that. He said, because CD Lamb, I don't know if I can get any more value. I mean, I get it. I get it. But, like, I would aim higher. And then if you have to settle for Bucky Irving, like, maybe. Like, that would make me feel like if I'm only able to get it because of that. But I don't know. All right. Everybody's favorite section. Getting over to the IDP. Let me see here. Okay, actually, never mind. All right. Almost ready. Almost ready. Oh, what was it, Corey? It's the droppable player from early Polk, Dowdle, or Palmer. So it's Palmer for J.K. Dobbins, and then Polk for Likely, and Polk for Colby Parkinson. That's how you're putting it in there. Just put the question in again. Put the question in again. Just throw it in again if you can. Sorry, I'm making you write it twice, but just help me out. Help me out with that. Okay. So I think I could pull a Nick Chubb or Swift instead of Irving. I mean, try it, dude. Like, I mean, Nick Chubb, I mean, because those would be better, like, long-term, right? Like, I'd try to get Nick Chubb, like, especially if you have an IR spot and you can just tuck him in the IR spot, you know, like that, not too bad. Not too bad. Bucky Irving, I just don't think he's going to be more than kind of what we're seeing right now. You know, a guy who gets 10 to 12 touches, you know, 60, 70 yards, on a high, maybe a touchdown, Not saying he can't have a better game than that, but consistently, I bet like those are going to be like his better games. Of course. Oh. Oh, that's why. So yeah, I'd be willing to drop Goff. I mean, look at all those guys who are even available to you right now. Like until it comes, like when bye weeks start coming, though, you might want to prioritize a backup QB. He says so. Really drop Goff, Palmer for one of those QBs, or just stay out. No. I mean, and I guess we just don't know what Palmer's really going to be. We kind of know what Goff's going to be, and he's not someone who runs, so it might not have a lot of. Might not be a lot of high priority, and like waiver wires for him. So I don't know. I mean, I feel like I'd rather hold on to Palmer to see what happens with week 2 with him. Okay, here we go. IDP. And Zoo Crew was right, so I'm going to listen to Zoo Crew. With what we said. And let's see. Hold on. I got to check this real quick. Let's see if they're right about the snap percentage. See, not right about the snap percentage. Oh, defensive snaps, 67. Okay, that's what it is. The snaps are correct, but we don't know the percentage. There we go. Okay. All right. Oh, hold up. Let me go mark down the time on this. 3 hours and 15 minutes. That's how long we've been rocking so far right now for this waiver wire day. Okay. And 16, 15. All right. Almost ready. Here we go. Here we go. What up? Welcome back to all you IDP savages. We got an IDP waiver wire video, and I got a handful of guys to talk about here. We are breaking down the linebacker position first. And the guy who we got to talk about first came out of nowhere like an RKO. This dude in redraft leagues, he's rostered in like 4% of leagues. And it's probably people who picked him up last minute because Devin White was going to go out. But Zach Bond with 42 points, man, 11 solo tackles. You look at his career numbers, and like his most career solo tackles in one single season was 18. He got 11 in this game. So just really insane. So he's going to be someone you should pick up on waivers with some of the IDP guys. Like you might not even need to put in waiver claims. You just got to be smart about it, depending on your league, depending on how many people you roster. But Zach Bond, I'd go pick him up because I think he's going to take Nakobe Dean's job even after Devin White comes back. The way that he looked, and he was the one who got 100% of snaps. Nakobe Dean didn't play 100% of snaps. He played mid-90s. So Zach Bond, oh yeah, go prioritize him if you need someone at the linebacker position. There we go. Number 1. Second guy to talk about, Eric Kendricks. I can't even believe that I can put this guy on the video because in redraft, he's rostered in about 8% of leagues. So I try to talk about guys who are rostered in 20% or of leagues or less, because I know that's not like, you know, every single like IDP league, you know, plays more than just a couple players. So that's why I like to talk about like a little bit of deeper guys. So you guys, if you have IDP questions, you should definitely join my Patreon. It's our private social media channel. It's 420crew.com. You should definitely join over there if you have any kind of IDP questions, because there's nobody on YouTube who's breaking down IDP like me, and there's not too many people out there playing as many IDP leagues as I play in as well. So I'll be your IDP guru. Just make sure you go follow everywhere. But yeah, Eric Kendricks, man. I mean, he's doing what he does. 2 sacks. He had 6 solo tackles. He had an interception. You know, he's a jack of all trades, man. Literally a Swiss Army knife on the IDP linebacker position. So if he's somehow available in your league, go pick him up.
Pick him up!
Because he's someone that I said that you should have been drafting. And Josh said IDP waiver wire help. Still new to this. This is going to be your favorite part of all these streams that we're doing, because it just depends on what leagues you're in. You know, the hustler leagues, maybe, you know, guys like Eric Kendricks already drafted. But there'll be guys on here because I talk about guys who are 0% rostered, like as well. All right. And Marco said, pick up Justice Hill or Bigsby. Probably Bigsby. Probably Bigsby. I guess I didn't even talk about him in the waiver wire. And Toyota wants only in your IDP leagues. Well, then you'll see. Well, I mean, there'll be some where people are rostered, some where people aren't. And, you know, it's all be different. All be different. Bake said he had back issues before he played the game. He was fully cleared, right? Hoping he's okay. He said Kendrick's the man. Yeah, he's the man. And what they say, he's dealing with a little bit of dehydration, you know. So it's, you know, they just need a little bit of H2O. And he's got to get that water from a glacier in Alaska. Okay. So I got some saved on the waiver wire, seeing what you say. Here we go. Now, I know a lot of you guys play on ESPN and Yahoo and all that. And this next guy, Darrell Taylor, he's a linebacker on those platforms, only a linebacker. In Sleeper, though, you can pick this dude up and plug him in at the DL spot. And 0% rostered. I mean, you talk about coming out of nowhere like an RKO. This dude came out of nowhere like an RKO. He played a bunch of snaps. And I feel like after the performance that he had this past week, it's only going to go up as well. You mix in 7 solo tackles and 2 sacks, they're going to figure out a way to keep you on the field, you know. And so I think Darrell Taylor, he's only going to keep going up and up, and someone who's not rostered in a lot of leagues at all. And if you're on Sleeper, you can play him as a DL, and that's what you want to do. And that's why I like playing on Sleeper. There we go. And Jason said, I dropped Khalil Mack for Alex. Anal Zone.
Get in the zone.
I think it's going to be more consistent for you. How about that? I mean, I know he scored more in this week. All right, let's see here. Now, this next guy, similar to Darrell Taylor, because if you play on ESPN, on Yahoo, and all that, you can only lock in Andrew Van Ginkel as a linebacker. And I do say, pick him up.
Pick him up!
But if you play on Sleeper, you can actually pick him up and play him as a DL. And, oh, yeah, man, the value. Got 29 points this past week. He had the big sack. He had the touchdown. He had an INT. I mean, he was doing a little bit of it all. Not crazy amount of tackles, but he still mixed in 2 solo and 2 assisted tackles. But, yeah, mixed in with all the turnovers and everything, man. The Van Ginks, he was killing it. So go out there and pick him up.
Pick him up!
Now, this guy's an honorable mention. He's 32% rostered in Yahoo leagues and redraft leagues. But just in case, I got to bring up Alex Anzalone.
Get in the zone.
AKA the anal zone. If he's available in your leagues, go pick him up. This guy is a tackling machine, a tackling fool with the tackling fuel.
Tackling fuel.
So if somehow he's available, go pick him up.
Pick him up!
All right, let's see. Who else we got over here? Let me see. Why? All right, here we go. Another linebacker that you want to get on your radar. DeMarvion Overshown. So second year in the NFL. He got hurt last year, so he didn't really play like at all. I don't even think he played one snap last year. And boy, did he hit the ground running though. 5 solos, 6 assisted, and he had a sack as well. There's not too many key defensive players for the Cowboys in the linebacker spots. I mean, it's like Eric Kendricks, and that's it. And Demario Overshown also playing the inside linebacker over there. So he might be someone to keep on your radar and go pick him up.
Pick him up!
Let's see. Anybody else? Oh, yeah. Mason worth picking up. Yep. Of course he is. He wasn't available in he was only available, I mean, in like 41% of leagues or something, so I didn't even talk about him. Drop verse for Bond, probably. I mean, Bond's like not a long-term like guy. Like he might be someone who's like just good for this year. Okay. Another linebacker that you need to go pick up. He led the Arizona Cardinals in solo tackles this past week. He had 8 of them. He was on the field a lot. He was making a lot of tackles, and that's really all you want out of these IDP players. So, I mean, I'm just going to put guys on your radar who aren't really rostered in a lot of leagues. This guy's only rostered in 6% of redraft leagues. Mac Wilson for the Arizona Cardinals. So, if you have a weak spot in as one of your linebackers, go pick him up.
Pick him up!
All right, peace out, Toyota One. We'll talk to you later, homie. One more guy. Actually, I guess I got to talk about 2 more guys. So I didn't even think one of these guys would be rostered in less than that many leagues. Where the hell? Where is he? There we go. I got 2 more linebackers for you. Here goes. Joanna Man Bentley on the New England Patriots, pretty much playing the entire game. 7 solo tackles, 5 assisted, and had a half a sack. Teams are going to be grinding, trying to keep the ball away from the Patriots and running on them because that's one of their weak spots. I mean, they have a way better secondary than they do like front 7 like right now, I feel. And Joanna Man Bentley is the beneficiary of that. Lots of running back tackles. He's only rostered in 3% of redraft leagues. So go pick him up.
Pick him up!
What up, Theo? Marcos already got anal zone, Levante, Wilson, Burns, Colson versus linebacker. So not sure if it makes sense to pick up Bond. Nah, you don't even need to pick him up. All right, here we go. Last guy to mention here. I can't believe that Quay Walker's only rostered in 18% of leagues on Yahoo. So if he's available, go pick him up.
Pick him up!
He's a tackling machine. 7 solo tackles this past week, 4 assisted tackles. And I know that like there may be some people out there who like you play in like, I don't know, leagues with like 15 IDP players or whatever. Like if you do, you need to be joining our community so you can get more of a breakdown anyways, because I'm trying to highlight people just for the whole IDP community in general. And I always try to highlight at least 1 or 2 players that are like rostered in 3% or less of leagues. So make sure you go join the community. If you need way deeper insight than this, go join the community at 420crew.com. And that's the end of it for the linebackers. We're going to jump into the DL next. Let's go. Crispy said, better spend it on Tony.
Man, fuck Tony!
All right. There we go. Let's get over to the DLs. There we go. Jumping over to the defensive lineman position, and whoo, the top point getter on the week for defensive lineman, Greg Rousseau, 41 total points. He had 6 solo tackles and had 3 sacks and a forced fumble. Man, if he's available in your league, you know what to do.
Pick him up!
Go do it. Go do it. Showing out. What a game. What a game. Monster start he's got going up against Miami and then Jacksonville. So they have a little Florida tour that they're going on here. But Greg Rousseau, we've been waiting for this. We've been waiting for him to do this. And let's see if he continues this tear going into year 4. He's only rostered in 10% of redraft leagues. I know if you play in a deeper IDP league, he's probably not available. But if you play in a more shallow IDP league and you have a defensive line spot,
pick him up!
All right. There we go. DeMarcus Lawrence. Oh, man. I think because of the lack of good defensive players that they have over there in the front 7, he kind of showed out a little bit. Cleveland, not that good, though. So I don't know if we're going to be able to expect him to go throw down 2 sacks every single game. He did get 4 solos. He had 3 tackle for loss. He's only 5% rostered. So if you really need some help at a D-line spot,
pick him up!
But I would be weary because the Browns, they just look like hot garbage, like all around. So that could be one of the reasons why he was able to get to the QB so easy and get those 2 sacks as well. Hey, bro, I started Van Ginkel over Rousseau myself. Like, I've been waiting like 4 years for Rousseau to have a game like this. And now watch how many times I tell you to sit him after this. Now, how about a low rostered, almost a no rostered IDP DL here in Keon White for the New England Patriots? Second year, he got a bunch of snaps, played 41 total snaps, pretty much the whole game, and he had 2 sacks. 2.5 sacks, sorry, 2.5 sacks, had 3 solos. And man, I mean, you just never know how New England's going to scheme. And, you know, kid coming out of Georgia Tech a year ago, really didn't do too much, you know, last year, and starting off with a bang. So if you play in a deeper IDP league and you got multiple DL spots, maybe a dynasty, you know, he's not too rostered in a lot of these dynasties either, go pick him up.
Pick him up!
I start Hines Allen instead. And I mean, come on, man. Like, see on paper, like that's not even like a bad, it's not even like a bad thing. Ended up kind of sucking, you know. Here we go. It pains me to have to mention Trayvon Walker right now, but he had 2 sacks on Tua. He had 4 total he had 6 total tackles, 2 solos, 4 assisted. And he played a bunch of snaps. I don't know. They got Cleveland this next week, so it's like, man, we saw what DeMarcus Lawrence did against them. And I know Josh Hines Allen, on the other side, like he's like a beast as well. And that's like one of the reasons why Trayvon Walker will never get will never be like the number 1 look for like an offensive line. So going up against Cleveland next week, pains me to say it.
Pick him up.
I'm starting Hines Allen over Russo every single time, for sure. For sure. All right. Where? There we go. Just checking one thing here. Mixing in a very deep D lineman here. Like this is more of like a dynasty, like pick up Poona Ford. Poona Ford. He had the most snaps out of any of the defensive tackles for the Chargers. He only had 3 tackles. He mixed in an INT, but if he ends up getting the most snaps, over there, and Joey Bosa is like healthy, things like that, like maybe he ends up being a little bit more of a thing. This is a super deep DL ad is Poona Ford, more of a dynasty guy. Let's see. Might almost be done with the DLs. Let's see. Okay. Deshaun loves to get sacked. Yeah, he does. Yeah, he does. Here's another deep defensive lineman for you. And he played about 66% of the snaps for D end for the Colts this week. I think did a little better than Kwity Paye, but Tyquan Lewis is who I'm talking about here. And he had 4 solos and 2 assisted, and he mixed in a sack as well. They have a lot of guys who can get after the quarterback. And I just think with the amount of snaps that he played, if you're like kind of desperate for a DL, whether it's dynasty, whether it's redraft, Tyquan Lewis, look no further. Look no further. Mr. Vengeance, what up, homie? Said 1 by 70, even though Swift played so bad. He said the Bears defense saved me. Nice. Oh, actually, one more. Here is the last defensive lineman that I'm going to throw on my waiver wire video today, and kind of back from the dead a little bit, Zaven Collins, because someone who we weren't like excited about like at all. Like he just hasn't been doing good the last couple years, but now they're going to have him rushing off the edge a little bit more as well. He didn't get to the quarterback or anything like that, but he did have 9 total tackles, 5 of them solo, 4 of them assisted. He ended up with 16 points for the week. So D lineman, it's one of those positions where it's very, very slim as far as like the top heaviness. So if you are desperate for a D lineman, Zaven Collins, go and pick him up against the Rams.
Pick him up.
And now we're going to jump into the DBs. Here we go. Dang it, I totally forgot to mark when I was jumping into the what's it called? to the DLs. Can someone go back and tell me? Never mind. I'll go back and figure it out. All right. What up, Ron? We're doing the IDP, then smoking before we get out of here.
You got perfect timing. About to start a little puff giving this motherfucker.
Let's jump over to the DBs, and we're always trying to target a lot of these safeties if we can. And man, this safety killed it. I mean, this DB killed it this week. Alante Taylor, 3 sacks. 3 sacks out of a DB. I mean, that's insane. He was the top DB on the week, 5 solo, 1 assisted. And, you know, the sacks aren't always going to be there like that. But if a guy can put, 5 to 10 solos just on a weekly basis, and I know he's able to do that kind of thing, he's worth picking up for sure.
Pick him up.
All depends on who you have, but I don't think this is a flash in the pan like for him. Maybe the 3 sacks is, because not too many players are going to get 3 sacks a game no matter what. And Tony Adams, man, Tony Adams killed it. Second DB here. Both of these guys that I mentioned off the beginning barely rostered in leagues. I mean, Tony Adams only rostered in 1% of leagues. He's the safety for the Jets, for those goddamn Jets. And dude, 8 solo tackles, 4 assisted, and mixed in a sack. I know they were going up against a heavy run team, and obviously you're going up against a heavy run team. You're going to get more tackles because of that. But Tony Adams, he plays a lot of snaps. I'm pretty sure he played 100% of snaps for them. And that's one of the things that you really need out of your IDP guys, especially your DBs. So Tony Adams.
Pick him up.
Let's see. Down Max, and I was watching Tony Adams last night. He was all over the field, right? I mean, 12 total tackles. I think he led the game in total tackles. Let's see here. Okay. This next guy, I'm really surprised. He's rostered in 25% of redraft leagues, Kassan Nixon. But if he's not rostered in the league that you play in, I would go pick him up.
Pick him up.
He's the nickelback for the Green Bay Packers, and he got a whole bunch of tackles, 6 solos and 1 assisted. He also mixed in a sack as well, had a tackle for loss on top of that one, so 2 tackles for loss. Kassan Nixon, man, I was a little hyped on him because of the return yards that he could be getting, and screw those return yards, man. If he's going to get 7 total tackles and a sack, almost every game, he's definitely worth picking up.
Pick him up.
Oh, he said that's the Tony I was talking about. Well, we won't say fuck Tony about him. Now, this guy, Dax Hill on the Bengals, I was really nervous about him coming into this year because they moved him from safety to corner. It didn't matter, though. He still threw down 27 points in week 1. He had 7 solo tackles. He mixed in a sack. I thought that it was going to be Jordan Battle, over here. But even Dax Hill playing cornerback, go pick him up.
Pick him up.
He's going to be a great addition to your squad. A lot of tackles going to be coming for Dax Hill. RGQ says likely really the truth. I mean, he looks good. I mean, I don't know about being the truth, but he looks really good. Yeah, dude, it sucked, man. I really wasn't expecting Von Bell to be the guy and like take all of his snaps like that. Yeah, that sucked, man. Battle's droppable in redraft. It sucks. Tyreek Stevenson on the Bears, one of their cornerbacks over there. And I don't like targeting too many cornerbacks, but normally he gets a lot of tackles. I mean, he mixed in an INT and a defensive touchdown, but normally he is mixing in a lot of tackles. He only had 2 solos and 2 assisted this game, so it wasn't a good representation of his tackle skills, but 24 points nonetheless. And people are going to throw on Chicago a lot, and normally he's going to be a guy who's getting a bunch of tackles, and even in this case didn't get a bunch of tackles, still threw down an INT and a TD. He's only rostered 9% of leagues on Yahoo. Our GQ, I lost week 1 with 30 seconds left in my game. I had the 49ers defense. I needed them to hold off the 13 points against. Man, lame. This next DB, I'm really surprised he's not rostered in more leagues than he is. Only 6% rostered on Yahoo redraft leagues, and he killed it. Julian Blackmon for the Colts, 13 total tackles, 10 of them were solos. And oh boy, like, man, Blackmon, he is very, very good. He plays all the snaps over there. And if you need a dope safety, like, this is someone to pick up, because I really feel like that 10 solos that he's getting, they went up against Mixon, and Mixon ran it like 50 times, he ran it 30 times, but it seemed like 50. So that's why he got more tackles. But they're going up against Green Bay, who's going to be running it a bunch. And then they're going up against Chicago the week after that. And Caleb Slim Pickens, and then Pittsburgh after that. So he's got a handful of good games coming up. Julian Blackmon, he is my waiver wire pickup of the week for IDP DBs. I mean, because he didn't come out of nowhere. Like, he definitely started coming on last year, but I think there's a lot of people who just have no idea who he is. So I would be picking him up. A lot of tackles are going to be coming from him. Nick Cross went off 2 for sure. Ron said, which game you most excited about this week? I don't even know yet. Johnny said, oof, that sucked. What happened? Oh, yeah, the 49ers shit, yeah. Let's see. Yeah, and you know what? Maybe I'll just talk about Nick Cross right now. Also, because going up against Mixon, though. And here's one of Blackmon's teammates, Nick Cross. He killed it. 14 total tackles, 8 of them solo, 6 assisted. Also, because he was going up against Joe Mixon. But that exact same schedule that I read out, he has the same schedule as well. So they are going to be going up against heavy run teams. So just someone else to get on your radar and pick up if you need to, just get more spots in your DB depth.
Pick him up.
Let's see. Who else? Who was a big one this week? Here we go. Another one here that you could go pick up and start pretty much anywhere is Harrison Smith. A lot of people forgot about Harrison Smith because of Cam Bynum and because of Josh Metellus, but Harrison Smith's an oldie but a goodie. He still holds it down. 3 receptions, 3 solo tackles, and 4 assisted tackles. Then he also mixed in an INT. They play 3 safeties a lot. And look at here. He played 68 total snaps. I'm pretty sure that was very close. That was very close to 100% of snaps. So yeah, it's like go pick him up.
Pick him up.
He's been amazing for so many years, and he's not slowing down yet. All right, and then there's one other person. Oh yeah, I remember who it was. And there's one person that I needed to mention that I could not forget. It's the Rook. Actually, I might need to talk about both rooks. Let me see. Hold on. What did Newman do? He says 35. I mean, he's been in the league for like 10 plus years, bro. Who's Diaby? Who's Diaby? Hold on. Who are we talking about? Is he gonna? I mean, is he gonna even be starting for them though? All right, here we go. Last guy that I'm mentioning and getting on your radar here, a rook, Javon Bullard. Man, this kid killed it. And I don't know if you guys saw, but he laid the wood, a real big hit on AJ Brown during the game, and the announcers were all highlighting shit and talking about it. He killed it. He killed it in his opening debut. 7 solos, 4 assisted. He played all the snaps. This was the rookie who I was super, super excited about because he was coming into a starting role over there, and he killed the game in week 1. And I think you got to go pick him up.
Pick him up.
Make sure you don't sleep on him. Get him on your bench. And if it's your first time here, hit that subscribe button because I'm one of the only YouTube channels bringing you the IDP heat week after week after week after week. Make sure you hit the like button. I got all the waiver wire videos for offensive positions as well. For you guys who play in team defense, I got that video for you as well. Go check it out. Go follow. Turn on the notifications. Appreciate you guys. And one of the videos that's coming up right now, click it, click it, click it, click it, click it. Yes, done. Whoo! 4-hour show. Got through all of it. Got through the QBs, running backs, wide receivers, tight ends, defense and special teams, and got through DBs, DLs, LBs at the IDP. Nobody goes as hard as me in this fantasy world. And I appreciate you guys rocking because I know there's multiple people who are here for this 4 whole hour show. And you guys got the insight. You're able to ask questions and everything. Everyone else who watches this video, they just hear what I think in those tiny, tiny little clips, that are there. Everyone else who's here, you get to hear all the behind the scenes insight and all that kind of shit. Ask questions. So I appreciate you guys being here. I said, already put in the waiver on Bullard. I mean, you damn right, man. You damn right. Bullard is a beast. Bullard is a beast. And RGQ, should I try to move him? Who are you talking about? Who are you talking about? Way as decent game, try to move him. I don't know. I'm missing it. And Dalmax, I'm just wondering what side you'd rather have. Spears, Brooks, Flowers, Newman, 25 third. Kyren, JSN, Dallas Turner, 25 second. I'd be getting the A side. Man, I mean, can I say neither? Can I say just keep the side that you have? Because, I don't know. I mean, I like you getting like Zay Flowers and stuff, but it's like Spears. Dude, Spears ain't going to be shit. And Jonathan Brooks, like, man, he's already hurt. It's like question marks. I just hold, man. I feel like this trade just needs to get reworked. Like, I mean, it probably is better getting the A side, but I don't know. I don't even know who else is on your team. So it's like Kyren Williams, you really mean nothing, to your team? Because, like, I don't know. You thinking you're going to replace him with Spears and Brooks? Like, I don't know. I don't think that's going to be a thing. Yeah, coming back from injury, only played 54% of snaps. He's listed as the left outside linebacker. He has the DL. He had both. So I think he's going to do well next week. Well, let's see. I know he's not rostered in a bunch of leagues and because he's hurt. I couldn't even think of who you were talking about at first. All right. Whoo. Shout out to the producers of the show. We had some people in here doing producer things earlier. Appreciate you guys. All our 420 crew Patreon members, our ultimate priority member, all access, our elite members, our superstar members, our 420 ride or die crew. I appreciate the hell out of you guys. And you know what? I totally forgot to check something. Let me see. Hold on. I totally forgot because we're so knee deep in yeah, it doesn't look like. Thanks for hitting the like button, everybody. We have a lot of likes, and I haven't even been reminding people, too much about it today. I know we're gonna. Let me see. I'm gonna go check and see. I know we're getting close to where the memberships are gonna be opening up. I just want to see before we get out of here for the day. See. Oh fuck, it's my fault. Why we haven't done this? Hold on, guys. You want to stick around? Hold on. I didn't know that it was my fault why the memberships hadn't been turned on yet. Let's see. Did I do it? Oh, wait. Hold on. Sorry, guys. I didn't. I should have done this before the show today. Let's see here. Let me see. Hold on. Okay, I need everybody to do me a favor. Who's in the chat right now? Who's going to be the first? Who's going to be the first to do it? You could join now as a YouTube member. Make sure you look at the tier. Make sure you look at the tier that you are on, okay? Make sure you look at the tier that you are on because you can get on a $3 tier, a $5 tier, $10 tier, and even higher and higher. And the higher the tier that you are on, the more entries that you get. Every single raffle. So let's see who's going to do it first. Let's see if we can get a couple people signing up now while I'm here. All right, here we go. All right, let's smoke it up. And let's see who's going to be the first. Because this is, Corey Corey was like the original first, but now since everything changed, now there's no members as of now, but there will be as soon as we get some peeps to sign up here. And priority on getting your questions answered as well. That's going to be another thing always for members. And you get the membership badge and you get access to the 420 crew emojis with more emojis to come. As we get more members in here, you'll be able to get more slots will open up that I can do more. You guys remember before we had like 10 or so on there. That's the whole goal. We need to keep just getting more and more. And Down Max said, yeah, fair enough. It's a really close trade, so I had to get some other opinions. Thanks. Yeah, and seeing like I'd rather, like, if it seems too fair, I almost don't want to do it. Like, I really don't. Like, I want to improve my team a bunch, or I just, and I'm not saying you can't improve the other team at the same time. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying I want to improve my team a bunch, so it's got to be calculated trades. And Cy Walt said, would you guys either drop Zeke, Chase Brown, or Warren to grab Likely? Hey, Johnny, first 420 crew member, epic member. Let's go. You the man, Johnny. You the man. You the man. You can do it. All right. Johnny's the first one getting it in. Appreciate you, homie. Appreciate you. Throw those emojis in there so everybody sees. And where the hell was I? Where the hell was I? Oh, here we go. Who'd you drop between and Giants? I'll upgrade next month when I get that new job. Hell yeah, bro. Appreciate you. And look, got the green cross. Got the green cross next to his name. So we're not able to do the canna-leafs or anything, like YouTube was hating on that. But we got the green cross. Green cross for the 420 crew. Let's go. Let's go. And Dow Mac. Yeah, Dow Mac. Let's go. Let's go. Let's smoke it up. Let's smoke it up for the crew. More emojis. More emojis coming. Literally just you guys signing up right now. I know you guys unlocked another emoji spot, like, for me, for sure, because all we had to do is get 2 members before we can unlock a 5th spot. I was saving 1 spot right now. I wasn't sure what I wanted to do with that next one, but lots of emojis to come as we grow and grow. And appreciate you guys. The first 2 official new members of the 420 crew on YouTube. We're back. We're back. Finally got monetized again. This was a long time coming, but now we got the membership badges back. We're going to have, the dope emojis that you're going to be able to use anywhere. And shout out to whoever's hitting the heart over there. Go, 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 go. Keep hitting it. Keep hitting it. Hell yeah. Appreciate you guys. Appreciate you guys. And this season, going to be the most lit season ever. Okay. I'm already saying it. Most lit season ever. What'd you guys think of the way that I did the waiver wire show today? Way different than the way that I did it in the past at all. Really over the last 2 years, because it wasn't me by myself, doing things in a little bit of a different way. But I want some feedback. Give me some instant feedback, guys, before I get out of here. What did you guys think of today's waiver wire show for people who watched it live? And then what do you think for the people who are going to be able to watch it on video a little bit later? What do you think? What do you think? Let me know. We got one more bowl here, and I'm going to get off. Pause. And no show for me tonight because Noble's got football practice. But Stevie B will be back. Bake says where it doesn't have an option for membership. Hit the refresh button. Hit the refresh. You got to refresh. Everybody refresh. Yeah, you got to reset it because I just turned it on. I didn't realize that it was me who had to hit a button to turn it on. So I turned it on right now just so we could talk about it at the end of the show. Johnny said it was good. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. And I know, let me see. Hold on. I think there's an actual link. Here we go. Here we go. There's the link to actually join. There's the link to actually join. I found it. Found it. And Jonathan said Trey McBride or Bowers for Josh Jacobs. Probably Bowers. Probably Bowers. I mean, good hype after game 1. So maybe someone will bite on that hype. Dow Max said it was a good show. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. I got all of the timestamps in, so if people jump on this show, they'll be able to jump to whatever position I was doing. And what Johnny said the shorter videos will be good too. I'll check those out after you post them. Perfect. Yeah, literally as soon as I get off this, I'm gonna go start editing. So one more bowl, And yeah, we got multiple crew members with membership badges now. There we go. We need to get it to where eventually it's going to be nothing but membership badges, everywhere. And appreciate the hell out of you guys. Thanks, Johnny. Thanks, Dow Mac, for being the first ones to get signed up. Appreciate you. And we'll wait for Bakes, because I think Bakes was about to do it right now. So we'll hit this bowl slowly, and we'll see if Bakes is going to go sign up, because he said he was trying to. Just couldn't see the link. But I posted the link in the chat now, and if you hit the refresh button, it should be there. He said going to share the cut up videos in the leagues I commission for sure. Appreciate you, homie. Yeah, I'm going to be working on. We'll get those cut up videos pretty soon. What's going to take the longest out of everything is going and cutting the going and chopping them real quick. And Ketty said, always on point. Appreciate you. Charter said, great show. Definitely feels like fall now, right? We're back. I know, super long show in the future. I'm going to try to make it a lot shorter. I don't want to go like 4 hours every single Tuesday. Maybe I started a little bit earlier today. Maybe I need to start a little bit earlier. But yeah, it's fun, man. I'm here. And Crispy, my man, Crispy. Now we got 3 people who signed up, and we got 3 new members in their official 420 crew YouTube members. I like it. And there we go. Bake signed up as well. Man, we might have to do another couple bowls in here. Appreciate you guys. Appreciate you. We need everybody having the green cross. Everybody needs the green cross, the 420 crew back. And I think maybe what I might do is I might make like 420 crew like written somehow on the cross for like for future months, It wouldn't let me do the 420 crew like Nug Leaf. It wouldn't let me do, the Canna Leaf or anything like that. But the green cross will do. Everybody knows what that means. We're back. We're back, baby. Let's go. Woo! And now that we had a handful of people join, right now it's gonna go unlock more emoji slots. So I'm gonna be working on. We just got to keep getting more, so we can keep unlocking more emoji slots, and I'll keep adding more. And it's gonna be even more and more fun. Got to get this. Man, I wish Dotson was actually good. Now it might be the IDP Dotson that we use all that for. And Mike, so would you trade Brian Thomas Jr. and Najee for Connor and T? Yeah, I don't know. I'd probably just hold on that. Let's go. People sharing the emojis in the YouTube chat again. It sucks that it doesn't carry over like Twitch does. But man, you guys are the shit. Thanks for being the first ones. Thanks for being the day ones, and always being always repping the 420 crew. Crispy, Bakes, Dalmac, Johnny. You guys are the shit. Much appreciated. Feels good. Feels good to be back, man. Feels good to be back. Johnny said, congrats, Hustler, for making it through to the other side. Said, no, it's been challenging. Proud of you, man. Independent hustles are what this country's all about. Hell yeah, bro. And this one was hard. Like, I swear, man, when I woke up on Monday, I woke up at to go take a piss at 5 o'clock in the morning. And I was like, you know what? Let me check and see if I got monetized. It's the morning now. It's 8 o'clock on the East Coast. And I hit the refresh button, and it showed that I was monetized, and bro, I almost started crying. That's how good it felt. It was such a weight off of my shoulders, because this has been, it was only stressful when I kept getting denied. That was the thing that was so stressful about it. I'm like, what the fuck do I gotta fucking do? There's nobody I can fucking talk to. It's literally giving me one sentence of saying what's wrong with this shit. And so, man, I swear, dude, yesterday when I woke up and I couldn't go back to sleep, I was so hyped. I was like, dude, I gotta start setting all this shit up right now. I was so hyped because, man, it was so hard. And I could only, if I would have got denied again, I would have felt so defeated, because this time I really had felt like I figured out what it was. And thank goodness that I did figure out what it was. Because yeah, had I got denied again, I probably wouldn't have kept trying, because my brain was completely racked. So I'm glad that I figured it out what it was. Had to change a bunch of things over these last 3 months. A lot of things in the description specifically. But feels good. Feels really good. Feels really good. And I'm glad because I know that like everyone was so sad when we don't have the membership badge anymore. We don't have the emojis anymore. And like, so I'm so glad that we got it back and we're going to keep rebuilding it up. And thanks for being along for the ride, guys. Thanks for being along for the ride. And Christian, he said, Amon Ra Pitts, Javante, Terry for Kyren, Tay, Dulcich, Deontay, good trade. It's too much, man. It's too much. It's too much. You're winning and losing on both sides and different players. So I'm going to say, no, it's not a good trade. We need a more calculated trade. Like if you want to like just cheer for all those guys on the other side, like go ahead. But it's not a smart trade. It's not like you win and lose at the same exact time with that trade. Fuck, what happened, Crispy? What did they say? What did they say? What'd they say about CMC? This is some bullshit, man. Fuck Madden. I don't even want to play Madden anymore. I wavered Mason in the vamp for sure. But what did you see? But what came up, though? Shanahan said Christian McCaffrey would be day-to-day this week. Shanahan said if it was a playoff game, Christian McCaffrey would have played. What the fuck are you seeing, Crispy? These are the two things that I just saw, like that popped up an hour ago. So, no, there's no guarantee that he's not playing this week. All right, one more bull because all the people who signed up to be 420 crew members officially on YouTube, all our 420 ride or die peeps, let's go. Yeah, that 420 ride or die crew is going to get it's going to get a lot bigger. But what did it say on Sleeper, though? What did it say on Sleeper? Like, let's go see. Like, a legit, like, let's just pull up Christian McCaffrey right here. Yeah, he's deemed day-to-day. He's day-to-day. If they would have said week to week, that means he's probably not playing. But day to day means he's got a chance to play this week. If he gets a full go on practice, he's playing. Get 15 minutes, go see we dropped the post. Looks like there will be a really strong. What? I wonder if Sleeper's just trying to freak people out, make Jordan Mason keep going higher on the trending, you know? Man, we are back. We are back. I'm so excited, guys. I'm so excited. You have no idea. It's not necessary. I mean, of course, it's about the money, you know, because like I wasn't able to make $1 like off of YouTube last year, and we're putting so much content here. I should be able to make money, you know, off of YouTube. So, but it feels really good to have all the membership badges back, the emojis back, because like that is, you know, like that's like the flavor of the show. You know, and like nobody else on YouTube has emojis like we do because I create all these myself. And nobody probably really has the balls to do things like this on YouTube. But YouTube either says yes or no. Like it's not like they demonetize you like for doing it because I still put the I still tried with the canna leaf and the 420 bud leaf. They let me put it as an emoji. You know, let me put it as an emoji, just couldn't put it as the membership badge. See, that's what I'm talking about, Johnny. The join or the dab for the lunchtime toke. I like it. And it looks super lame when I pull it up here because it just has like the actual code of it. It doesn't have like the actual picture, but so dope, man. So dope. And Flash said, Andrew's likely. Who do I start? Think I'm overthinking it. Yeah, because it should just be likely as of right now. Like maybe we'll hear more news about it, but after what we saw last week, it's like, how could it not be likely? All right, guys, I got to get out of here. I got to go start editing right now. I'm going to have to start this show a lot earlier on Tuesdays because yeah, like right now I'm gonna finish and we're gonna post it, but it's like waivers are like pretty much done by the time we get done with this. So yeah, next week we got faster and starting earlier. Two things, faster and starting earlier. All right, guys, I'm out. Woo! We'll see you tomorrow. Giants said, great first waiver show of the season. Hell yeah, man. Appreciate you. And be on the lookout for all the uploaded videos. They'll be coming real soon. We'll see you guys later. Peace out.
Defense on me.
I don't want them to gain another yard.
You blitz all night. If they cross the line of scrimmage, I'm going to take every last one of you out. You make sure they remember forever the night they played